Obia Mobia Kwaba at about by Grace TV. So we did this trading point and crop out the Mabusia. Obia Hoye, Yamia Hoye Mabo, Wadomi and Kwani and what then Yasa share be, but of course. I did say na Yami Hoye Mabody share. It didn't come off a church I joined the fan Simba Brio and somehow who do Eba na say to your mountain so they never promise bre. Ama Bibia Ayaboko, meaning sense Simba who a Kawasum. What it be near dear na ne. Yadi didn't come over Britain and right, but didn't come up. There is no, the better from the best argument to my summer. The letters and I say the rate of summons now dear court on Qatar and as I be a go a fidition. Now, Nina say a confirmed officially. Say, Mammy Akosua Serwaa and nearby or Marco file caveats against Mammy Akosua Serwaa letters of administration. Oko file and say omo person almost your co-administrators na ensem the doso ensem wo na doso papa ya say the medical can tough abu na akoko wi say omo person omo ye co-administrators with respect to letters of administration na Maami Akosua Serwaa epeno na omo ke kan nsem no bi wo omo krata no kra ka ko chim kra say omo hu ni say bi a omo person be ko ba bi na Wakudi Maami Akosua Serwaa nsem na bi echina bi akoye bi akoye basa echina bi ebi en ma bi ntimi ankototo ye se de ese etonti no omo hu ne se omo mom nya akwanya nya tumi se omo be ka hu bi ebe ye co-administrators a eno be boa ama chese eni oma no aye boko no be boa ma eni ma bi kra ho bi a enyera eni ma bi kra ho a ense bibia beto na kwem se de ese ne fata nti yenim se atete ho asem ye didi ho nkoma na sisi ade abe certified with respect to nkrata na ade a abegu apno so ya nyina akoko wi se enokre nyame no nokre ni Maami Akosua Serwaa ne ba Calvin ene ni aba Denise wo mo nso akofile caveat ne bia omche se court ma omo kwan na amomeye co-administrators of Lumba that Lumba ne japade ne ade se de be ya bibia be boko na meka se busua wo hwe omo nsem omo akaja ko che court no a omo kakra du ba bi chirem se omo a qualification ne omo nimdie bi omo woni ma bi untino ebe better se omo ba be ka ho bi esanse ebi a kire bi omo ama ka ho bi a na ebi kra eniema ekoye basa na se bi a Maami Akosua Serwaa ko be kire omo de niema ehye ne nsa omo de letters of registration no court grant no na so be nya asesa ebi a niema bi kra wa wontimi ntutu ne yi se de ebi a omo mofra no betoto na ema ne oma entoba ha nti abusua ha adwen pa na de ye beto ye bo ase ho na ewura court nsem no mu nkakran nsem a omo de akoda court omo nyina so na omo nchire mu de nti ama omo de koda court sa obi a bobre ye ntima wo nyina sa tumi ni ahoden no ade nsem no koda court na yate ase na fe de akabia abusua ye de asom amansan ti straight away wo hwe de da su sa bre a ni nyina ye nsem wo free court no bi eba ma me biem ye abusua menim se mo hu de amadaroma yes ni nyina ye nsem no bi a free court eba ya ni na ye letters of administration Maami Akosua Serwaa epe no wasem eti Calvin a file na there and afi ye Denise nso a file na there na Denise ye no kwado chim so no ye the first female daughter say papa ni baba odi oye penni ene ono ntino obotumi say a court man say atumi na ono so ye co-administrator afi kwa wasakra chim say suku a wakọ ene nnwuma ahodo a waye ye ne ade no eno boa no e ma ni nyina jina pen bi jina ya anti no hu ni say so ono ka ho bia ne papa enema bi ho a enye basa because e fa ne papa station ne enema bebre social media handles kra no o ka ho bia I mean wo ye na afa mu de de boy e bra ye sha ase ne ade nti no onim ne ma ne bebre mu e na experience banks ne ade ono mo ye adwuma institutions ono mo ye adwuma ne ade nti no ono o ye very well equipped a bibisa wo mu a ensi da se obi ebetwi afa ne so na se ensi da se enima baye basa afo sa se ni nuanom se ni nuanom kire Maami that Lumba ma ni nuanom ya omo chim kwa se Maami fo ye nan na awo anuanom nyinan ono wo mu a obehwe se ni nuanom interest ye bekenka ni na ya tiase ne nyanko ye bedi nkomo obehwe se ni nuanom interest titiro pa ni nuanom kara omo interest no obesiki ni nyina anti enkoba se bia wo mu a obi di asokwa abedan wa chenchena na mu wono wo mu a obehwe se parties no abusuafo efa na efa obi biara I mean o deserve say ɔno nso nya pɛpɛɛpɛ yɛ bi di ma no obi a deserve say deɛ wɔsɛ ne nsa ka bia no ɔno wɔ mu a suku a wakɔ ne experience kra no ne nnwuma wo ɔyɛ nti no ɔbɛhwɛ sɛ I mean obiara nsa bɛka deɛ ɛsɛ ɔka na meka sɛ busua okenkan wɔn nsɛm na wɔn ka no mu a yɛ bi wɛm sisi nkyɛ but okenkan wɔn nsɛm wɔn ka no mu a wɔn ka ma no kɔ wiese bi a court ama kwan ama wɔn ameka ho na court ɛde that is grant maame Akosua Serwaa the sole letters of administration a wɔn ho ne sɛ bia na kyena bi kura nneɛma bi akɔtɔ ba ebi akyɛ bi kura na nneɛma bi ntoto ya no akɔ ha adwen nti court ma no tumi na mo bisa sɛ on say no mba me be di nkɔbɔ ha wo de yɛwuram but maintain sim bi ase ɛyɛ asɛm wɔ abusua asɛm we sɛ to bi twa right wo de without wasting much time ho yɛn hyɛ ase na yɛn nonsɛm no mu so kɔ sisi a sɛ de bɛyɛ a abusuafo na yɛbɛte ase nti this is an update from Kumasi High Court after say Odobroni caveat and lawyers file here no court able to go here no ɛna yɛn nua nso ɔmo a file bi that was on the 18th we were date na that's all court on the 18th and almost a file. And then let's also not forget say ɔmo file here no kra no wo hwɛ ɔmo nsɛm no mu ɔmo kyerɛkyerɛ mu no a ɔmo sa akra kyerɛ so ɔmo the additional properties bi yeah no so na enka maame Akosua Serwaa na eyi ɔde kɔdan court no so ɔmo de ka ho sɛ ni nyina ka ho bi a court hwɛ mu na ɔbo betimi abo ɔmo na bibia yɛ bɔkɔ wo de sɛ de meka na nti wo hwɛ wo screen yi so sisi a ɛdɔɔso krata no dɔɔso but wo de beto ɔbo as na yɛ di mu nkɔmɔ kakra bi ansa na de aka bi ato so abusua ɛha adwen pa but open there so on your screen the summary of the whole thing ansa na be krata no mu ankasa na me hwɛ sɛ me yɛ free ase aha to hwɛ on your screen sabrea also say in the Superior Court of Judicature in the High Court of Justice Kumasi High Court so what I say and a court no registrar a stamp boss road and then afenya no kwa I mean date near there yeah bibia court so much say in the matter of the estate of Charles Kojofusu aka that Lumba that's a deceased that Lumba the estate Munsensem and in the matter of an application for the grant of letters of administration by Akosua Serwaa Fosu, Charlene Fosu, and Ernestina Fosu. One say, Asantehene minchiwi, Asantehene ebeto just say, ya maame Akosua Serwaa, and afi maame Akosua Bompoma, ena Charlene Fosu, maame Akosua Serwaa baba. Omo kabu mu say there be omo ko file for letters of administration. And on actually, yebe kaya who say, abusuafo bi aba court omo kire say, ababa nkwa ase maame Akosua Serwaa bansi o. Saadi no clear course no ono chese ne bonyo sunti no o meyi di films answer what exams bi ni ade na on pese o me obey the steps we obetimi focus na prepare for exams awon akọ 20 no ani di ni on brase kwan so stress o mo ni di film obeka yanti na o mo twe o ma che mu sa no. And in the matter of caveat filed by Denise Lady Fosu of Unnumbered House 2nd Laboni Street Laboni Accra ahanti and we Denise there Calvin so there one and also the caveat and said let nothing be done let nothing be done in the matter of the estate of the late Charles Kojofusu aka Daddy Lumba of East Legon Accra who died on the 26th of July 2025 in Accra without warning given to Denise Lady Fosu Kavita whose caveatress whose address and kakra kasisi yes o hwe ensem no mu a ono akofa ale se davi court me ma kwan na ma me hwe no me mfa ma afi court ma me kwan na me meye co administrator se de be ya se administration ko de ma me so me ka ho bi because maybe wo mu dia obi antimi mfa mra nhye ni se maybe wo mu dia ono na o ka ne sa ono wo mu dia obi antimi enye dia ope tie no so wa chechim kakra ho no a o de to just say the city tie no so that very day na 27th day of April and a free chamber so buy na PM court yes nti afi yenko ensem no mu na yenhwe wo de ensem wo ma twetwe na medwe ho okay abusuya see I'm asking say and asem come on me pay ni bi say is there something na e bia ye ni mu ana I don't know nti we ye the na make kan wasem no ensem wo amode akodan court no e bi no afi yento ye bo ase na yenhwe mu mako nti wo hwe de da so ya we ye Denise there ya wo de akodan court and a Calvin so the one was a washa na busia with Denise din na wo so afei oba the other place I went fa okay I'm rest me who Calvin so the na me fa no so to so to be a file there at the Aquacoma court. Okay. And I share her, okay. I was going to share the Hanty answer, I have a Calvin there. The first one, I Denise here, but over her. We are that's what you see, Calvin, so the Aquacodine court. It will be a file there. Say, no, it was Calvin Schindler. And see, what was your screen is here. In the matter of caveat filed by Calvin Schindler of Luxembourg, Strasse 925-50939, Cologne, Germany, and also the alcohol filing. They need to file in there. And a Calvin so filing there. Yeah, we ask someone can hear, but I could say, let nothing be done. I say more, but maybe I mean, you just okay. And also the alcohol can say, let nothing be done in the matter of the estates of the late Sh0cking, aka that Lumba deceased, of East Legon, Accra, who died on the 26th of July, 2025 in Accra, without warning given to Nelson also no honor, said the city. And just say, a hard and officially, one more file. Yeah, and him then court to be consular and 780 their court. Court in 727 yen no share the obi can there. I mean, we're doing one what you know, I said, any idea or can be born what to say na mono na aboa a funny na said the I say na a fatanti. After young show munchi mom the Akodan court na yinti na bibi anya boko and some of the Akodan court yen to your boss na okay yinti yen share okay good. How was ya? Tin some of the Akodan court. And some of the Akodan court. A bini say, you have in the rural court in the Superior Court of Judicature, in the High Court of Justice, Kumasi High Court, in the matter of the estate of Sh0cking, aka that Lumba deceased, and in the matter of an application for letters of administration by Akosua Serwaa Fosu, Shalin Fosu, and Enesina Fosu, aka Akosua Brimpomani Medical Church. Say, all want to file the court. I said, I beto ya say, Mami Akosua Serwaa, Mami Brimpomani, Mami Akosua Serwaa that Lumba ban Shalin. And now, one more file in a church, Shalin mom be in at the film as reporter I gather. And afterwards, and in the matter of the caveat filed by Denise Lady Fosu of a numbered house, 2nd Laboni Street, Laboni, Accra. The affidavit of interest in Chemu, and in us won't hear what this so quick and similar in Akodan course. There be my men of crowd, the now open. One from an accord 2 years sermon. One for letters of registration in my man at the end open. Yen share the interior the Oka. The Edika will say, it's way Denise there. I'll say, I, that's what make a declaration. Or I, Denise Lady Fosu of a numbered house, 2nd Laboni Street, Laboni, Accra, do make oath and say as follows. Nessa, oh, sorry, na this year, na somewhere in our church na wakama obi an say, oh, no, na waka. Ya na wajia 220 workers answer. Now, as soon as do boko there, I say, lady kind that I am the caveatress hearing and deponent here to Nessa. I mean, which Shiva will be at say. Or more says a court, my court on putting far letters of registration on my Mekos. Or no, or Kahon, yeah, what say, oh yes, she is one of them. I've always not say that the depositions contained in the affidavit are facts and within my personal knowledge and or believability. Or just assembly a waka or crata animal. I was telling you, assembly a waka. Sa court on crata anymore. They are court saying, what won't putting for letters of registration on my Mekos. On the Okabu Biate say. I am no creator a fact. Yeah, ning na the creator or no or nimbi. Ning na the creator or no nimbi na auditum na otiase. Ning na who na what trade abadan cotton. After you answer the same worker. I will say that to the extent that the matters deposed to hearing, okay, that to the extent that the matters deposed to herein relate to law, they are based on the advice from counsel, which I verily believe to be true. What do you say? Okamo biati as you say. Enti nsembia what try one affidavit mu nsembia what try what sai onso Akosua affidavit. So asem we na meka no kra na me din say na tie wa court or court you could transfer court or contempt betimi acho. You don't deceive the honorable judge and the honorable court. And what you say? Okamo biati say Nense mo ekuchire won krata no na. Aya no kretro do. Na fei, nense mo ekuchire won krata no na aya nsem a I mean, any amount a fire mra related to mra, and we just what your kuchi in now say, some more kuchi, and as what trade the abadan court na, we do not mra the train. You know, and some more. The lawyer and the mra nimni and the two for the council and the two for. Yeah, you so. The lawyer ni the mra nimni two for. Also, the 2 year pass the mra nimni can ye bia. Aye no kwetro do the mra nimni can mra nimni can ye bia. Or jitum. Ya ono so nim se ebeboa ama bibia yeboko ebeboa ama bibia etum ponti no so ye baako and after also to also be no chese we Denise ne kasa mother Roma also be no say that my counsel shall at the hearing of this matter seek leave of this honorable court to refer to all processes on record as if the same have been incorporated herein and sworn to an oath in the ochim abusia ya say mo that love na so mo bi akwa maybe na na mo bi akwa and I watch him cry can send you the check court. Or can the check court? Say, on the brain name, once what you can say, the watch on and cat and piano, and the brain name, and I have Dinam Rasso, and the brain near to the phone. Yeah, or also what did you say, and someone running near to the phobia, or Modia family, now also, and all my yard you could be, or did you say the watch will be honor? I am no cretro do, I am no cretro do. Yeah, actually, be anyone. I think. Court say a bear crab be not called big ransom, but no was a court maquai. No one sharing somewhere. I mean, a baby people could or court na no one's an opening dear or no one in such as you know marquine. Say, yentre and family court. Now it's me be denominated their dance. Said the bay almost massimo me can say. Ye none of sanitary pepe, massimo me can say. Obia ye be free, massimo me can say. I mean, and sign and name, then as well. Amache se nyoma aye na bibia aye kama and after trust be no say that I have some obviously that my attention has been drawn to an application filed by the applicants in the instant matter for the grant of letters of administration to administer the estate of the deceased, my father. So also what can we be to say oh no what na dwen so aba ne ma bisu ya ne obi na dwen aba so nyane say wo hu e na what say you say your file application. Now application, the applicant, yes, applicant now, but the other file application. It's the applicant, which is Akosua Serwaa, and a Mammy Brempomano, but in this case, Akosua Serwaa, a file application. The application Akosua Serwaa filing and say, now what trade about that course was court, and I'm here the boom mind to court money crime. And money to me, no one to me access, not on to near man, as on control no administer. Ye papa that Lumba. Ne japadi. The estate na there. No say. Mama Akosua Serwaa sema Odobroni court no. Na wakache kwa the court man akwan no want him to near ma administer that Lumba and the estate na there no. Disease no yin ame dia no a. Mama Akosua Serwaa Odobroni court. E bia na court ma wakache court that Lumba ya yin ame dia no. Ono Denise ni papa ne that Lumba. And you say that my attention has been drawn. I say obi kwa ya bu ya say yes Mama Akosua Serwaa eko file for letters of administration, seeking grant of letters of administration. And I was like, what? Mr. Someone said, money be and some reason will be a must do now. My men no answer applicant, no, yes, my damn court. Or say, open to me, see a man crime. Now, on control, on your access to that Lumba letter of administration. On the was say, or catch a course, say, only panoa. Why in your media, my Akosua Serwaa letters of administration, a grant of letters of administration. Court, every court, no catch a course, any papa, disease now in your media. Or your papa, then say, oh, they can the disease. My father, in the instant that my attention has been drawn to an application filed by the applicant in the instant matter for the grant of letters of administration to administer the estate of the deceased, my father. That's what Chima court. Say, we are court anymore. To Chima court or tears, yes, Nipa no away in Yamediano. Or any papa, Nipa Beya, just go for that Lumba. To Denise, lady for sooner air cancer. Afe, yet was to be more say. I say more. Okay, you're supposed to be more saying. Okay, Mama Sarah, I said, just you're supposed to be more saying that I am the first female child of the late Mr. Charles Kojofusu, the deceased. The one the can cry, you know, so I catch a call. Say, well, no, you're about Denise. On the papa, ya, why in your media, Papa Beya, that Lumba. Ne Baba would the kind of first female child. Eh, or no, yes, sister Denise Fusu. I stand to be corrected. I mean, a man age now, but I'm sure say beyond the now. Yeah, I'm sure say only the first female child and first female child. Yeah, I'm sure. Me sure the name every man age there, but I'm the man there. Oh, me name, but I'm sure it's true. Because only me could into court. That I am the first female child of the late Mr. Charles Kojofosu, the deceased, and together with my brother Tenyo, and together with my brother Calvin Schindler, have the responsibility in law and under custom to ensure that the estate of the deceased is administered in accordance with law and in the best interest of all my siblings, particularly the younger ones. Was you know? And I was the first female child of that Lumba. Now, Oshans or didn't to form, and only in your bema, the brother, Calvin Schindler. That's a man Akosua Serwaa, I can say. Almost a woman they what to me, woman the one who dinner, and Madame Woman and Rano a mamma quine. Say, and I feel young brown quan. Or just a customs, and say, yeah, mamre, your money, customs and traditions, okay? And see, I feel, just or no, Denise lady for sweet. On any near bear, my Calvin, Mamma Akosua Serwaa. Woman, I'm running my own quine. Responsibility in law. After one, I'm running, I mean, I'm mamma, so under customs and traditions, so, and more quine say, well, papa, a japa dear, on papa, and your ma, why you are upon. One won't be sure. Now, on want to 2 years. Ombe administer kakranka kasa de senefata ombe tutuni na yie se de Ghana mara esitie nya no nko a omo totu ajapade ne ade ni na yie no na afi okay Nasaki mabo why yebeto Nasaki yebeto so say do children of the future okay Nasaki so who dey wadaro ma who comment ache enti o chese omo na mara mo omo kwan e o no Denise lady fusu oni ni abema Calvin Schindler, that's my Akosua Serwaa Babe man Calvin. Or one brand one coin say, I'm to Japan. I mean, papa, a word to Japan, dear Bian, never be only 2 years and a year beyond. Or one that was had 2 minutes. Almost found the 2 years, I should be a bear in line with a mamre of your customs now for law and bra. And after once I just said, and I'm so a year, a ma, no, that Lumba meant no. 10 years. Or say can be saying other men count and for say to Odobroni does have the responsibility in law and under custom to ensure that the estate of the deceased is administered in accordance with law and in best interest in you and in best interest of all my siblings, particularly the younger ones. In terms of say, on your bear my on Denise, on your bear my Calvin. On the bit me to near me our bra. Or Besha said, Ninianum, that Lumba Mina, or more bedroom or be interesting. Then I say, well, many bedia, on pese, court more quine, no be can be as co-administrators in the grant of the letters of administration with respect to the estates of the late Charles Kojofosu. And yes, there be a won't ever pre be among. And yes, there be a one more by yard be on pen. Then mom, or say, oh, me and Denise Nakase. Almost all me no ne ni abel Calvin. Omo na bet to me adwen anase omo na men kan say omo ni omo nua no nyina ka bomunti no. So omo betimi aye atoto ne ma no na aboa that Lumba man nyina aye omo ye nuafo no. Say omo de omo nyina omo nua no. To omo ye obadwi say omo nua we kura wa ha, me nua we kura wa ha. Enti me nua we yemfa we ntua, me nua we yenye sei na bibia anye boko. E na wo sa kura kan obiam say that Lumba man on say e bia omo de omo e wa fie wani no bia 30 years bibia nya ade. But just say that Lumba man omunya no en ketwa wo bebre na wo enti na say omunya no ketwa wo ntino e ho be hia say wo mo aye ono Denise ene yes sister they ono Denise ni enu abe ma Calvin omo mi enu die se court makwa na ombeka ho a ombadwi omunya no nkuma no titiro pa na omunya no nkuma na bibia ayekam aso badu de bibia match ma junti nya wo say aso badu obetoto momone de ahema no wi obusa me kasa so kapana say wa share da mini baby ofre ba ya nti o kasa nti abusunya eno so nsem ni bia omoka na ay asem o yento aso ai nti eno ye ba akọ ya o chese ni nua no nkuma akra no mo na betimi ahwese bibia ba ye boko sanse nua no bi so and for say nya omonko a and all other persons entitled at law to a share of the estate of the deceased in an equitable, fair and transparent manner. Nti o chim say Ave, so omo young papa echi ejapade omo tutu nyama se be bibia be ye boko na bibi nchia bibi ntoba ha bibi ense no eno no da nchen a afe wo mo na wotumi a ombetumi ahwa se empo apart from that Lumba ma ye o chese bi yanketo omo yampanyifo no enipa bi a aka say ebusuani o say obi biara emra mu ema ne kwan say ono so wa chefa e wo ye papa ye japade ene wachi ne ma bia wo ja wachi no obi biara amra ma ne kwan say ono so wotumi say wo nya bibisa no wo mo aye ono ye nua ba Denise oni ne nua ba ma Calvin ma me Akosua Serwaa ba wo mo ne betumi ahwa ase da bi obi biara oye entitled to a share of the estate of your papa that Lumba. Ubia benya said yes fata in an equitable, fair and transparent manner. To umbe say ubia benya said yes fata. Na sai say ubia said yes fata no. Umbe say I mean ubia benya de echinie bia ma ho. Asisie bia mem de be fair ya ubia se me kwa bena usu amensa so amzo we de me se fata na mensa ka my okay. Se bia edit safo a osomo se o de safo na se fata na wanya se me mama achenkwa na mama George na bafo so a mama say o ene de meso mensa efata na menya nti omo na betimi ahwe say e be fair treatment a obia nsa be kan de say somro so na dia fair treatment maybe visa nan so a maybe visa nan sa kan dia fair treatment na bibia ye boko ti omo na betimi ahwe say omo be to sa na ma no e be equitable e be fair and afim e be san so transparent na say wo mo etu na mo bia te say omo be chiechire mu yie omo tu na mo bia te say omo fa bi nsie enti no obi a odin nsem no achi bia obi a wo hwe nsem no bia obi a wo hu de ekoso bia won se ade we a ebia Denise ene ni nua ma ye de pepepepepe ade we Denise ni nua ma ye de pepepepe obi a tiase echinye bia ni ho na se aman yo ma ye boko na bibia ye fe se dia ese na fatantia ni nsem no bia o ka afa ye nto so na let's continue with san nsem no bia o ka ne I mean him say wa ma biography no the profile men kan say the CV the so okay kan na bi o yeah nya asem kito man the profile and the CV and ya there now ye to so say I mean fa the next slide na abusia ayi asem o de munya wotere na ye ni nkomo na asem se bejo ti ye to so with nsem no o de ebeda court na say onya wie enti okay I think say bi wa okay ti abusia ye to so ba cho me ba madarama and the cameraman here member. Okay, and in the same way, in some na you ever call the next slide and so now you share their orca okay. Okay. So now you call the next slide and so then some be all seka na all culture court ni bi ni say. Tini you abusia. Odi ka chese o ni nuanom ehodo, ni nuanom asubie, ni nuanom kanko, se bibia be pepepe na obi ansi ni nuanom na ye eno o cheche mu a ena for so ni nuabe ma o mo ye janament no I mean o mo ntimi nya niam abasa ena for mo chese o mo tumi amra amamre amane mu enti no ana ye baako after what also be no say that I have a professional background in compliance, risk management, financial services, stakeholder management, and administrative coordination, which said roles have necessarily required organization, confidentiality, accountability, and careful handling of matters involving governance, regulatory obligations, documentation, and sensitive decision making. And the idea, or Chidemwa can will be at the or come I saying that to say, was here dear Bridge. Now, dear was here dear Chintino. Or a banner say, Nimdia pa or Nimdia ye. Or say, I mean, risk management. How be a dear banner to Yamaste Bayama or Yene Biama, assembly crown, no crossover. Na young son of my yasu be. Now, conforming was be a ma or no, was soon dear Bridge into our experience. No, after saying I cabo near the part, don't my idea or experience. No, after basic assembly to ya financial services. And also, was soon one day, yeah. Was you the Bridge pa? Was you the Bridge and you was sending dear no? Afe, a young qua, stakeholder management, say beer, be na obia what chefa wom, nay, I shall so be a bayana from dear, obia the also 2 years back to ye. Now be being a basana been to ban, and also what cardiac check what say. Or was sending the year pa, and young qua. Aside stakeholder management, afe, a bar administrative coordination, say, oh, the media be a sense. Mean way administratively said I mean bibi na do show nsa na oda no say adwumako bibi na oda no a and also owo munim dia papa the administrative coordination said bibi oda ko ano na oda bibi ano o say bibi aben dia one cooperative wise said the bear bibi anko yeboko no so nyame adom akwadare mu yie pa nyame adom owo nim dia pa nti say ono okay o da mama kan dey all kan na wie afi no so ye baako afi o say to aso bi im say Sa nneɛma a wɔbɔ so nyinaa background a wɔwɔ in compliance of risk management sɛ ɔyɛ ne bi bɔ ɔbɛso ano bi abɛyɛ bɔkɔ financial services sɛ sikasɛm totoyɛ ne adeɛ nso ɔmu nimdeɛ paa nti wɔn sikasɛm bi anyɛ basa afei stakeholder management nso ɔmu nimdeɛ afei administrative coordination ɛno nso waka sɛ ɔmu nimdeɛ nti wɔkyerɛ saa nneɛma nyinaa a wɔmu nimdeɛ ne nti nyankopɔn twɛ di ampoampom waboa no ama wɔn nyinaa ɛho bɛhia saa roles nyinaa are necessary required organization confidentiality, accountability, and careful handling of matters involving governance, regulatory obligations, documentation, and sensitive decision making. And I'm saying, that was Sanya Wing now. Sanya Wing now, I mean, futures be and characters be and some of what to me, I yes, Sanya Wing. Now, Sanya Wing now, or just say, here characters be a be an Abuamonia organizational skills. Of your ama eba confidentiality so no bi eka kokwo mo asem na ni kwansa asem wa yema kwansa fa kwa abonten on fa kwa abonten a ni nyina no wonya san ni bia no I mean because san niema no osua na mbobo so a so osua wa background e require san niema we nyina anti ena so okosua san niema na bi ka bobo no risk management and compliance no ne financial services ni stakeholder management nti aboa na ma san niema bia na wo hia sa qualities bi attribute traits bia na wo hia na aboa ma bibia timi ayeboko no watimi asua sane na I mean I inculcate all those habits and this is see apa de nyame ya adom na court man kwan na obeye court administrator of the letters of administration na experience ne be boa na ma anima nye basa so ko kwadu akire na experience kwan nti na bibi to ba da bi ti bi kwan obi ye na bia e wo se financial services bia obema discuss na bibia ayeboko bibi na obi ntiase na bia e was tempo obem obebem na any administrative I mean discharge of duties na or ye bibi akama it's sa qualities na okura busunya na senya asam kuto okura sa qualities we na ya ebi na medical boss no say organization ti ye boss ye toto ne ma wa ya de on confidentiality ti bibi kura na fa papa yi eja pade ne ade se court bo na division nsa and obey the court administrator bibi o ho a wo se o to kan no na reka to na reka na eno mrama kwan se won kan che obi a onko di won kwan che obi a odin na obeshe no of accountability na ba ko so say nyame adona court ehunu mobo na court man kwan na obeye one of the Mr. Mika obeye a co-administrator na one of the administrators which is no longer obey kan hu bi a obehwe say and you may question na sikasem to tie ne ade say yemu akonta papa fan chira mansan so obey very accountable to be biara seven factor say oye accountable at the mountain no say obako and after one say kan ho bi say we nyina so ekoto bia o say kan say was also our experience I mean obetimi handle niema ye papa and careful handling of matters involving niema bia was ye to never and same be to say governance after regulatory obligations documentation and sensitive decision making nyina e ba say decision making bi o sensitive assemble bi I say Sh0cking campaign for I say of Asantehene crew madaroma where mia and na yi say obi anso akoda etim say ne ya tu beka say wujai na kwan nan no ye twa na da bi obemia obetem be ye ne ya be da beko enti wono e ba say ye take decision bi ye sensitive dem be bo ama ne mo ayebokwa ni na wasua mu ade o was experience no o was skills ni na nti court man kwan na o be co-administrator ana ye ba ko afei o said documentation ni ade afei regulatory obligations and governance na so no wa kwadare mu a ni na betimi aboa Odobroni beka say e be propel no ama the audience na so person way no e betimi akọ na nkowe se desi etie afei o ma the profile kakra yenti bi o say that between January 2017 and June 2018 na say about 1 year about 1 year 5 months about 1 year 5 months yes and 1 year 6 months grant if you afim premium ni do so bosu ye di kan they go see afim premium ni do otwe here bosu mi aneto so nsia no tie I worked as a motive team leader which said required high profile research and operational projects for major financial institutions including TSB Lloyds Bank, Allianz, and HSBC. To say, if you say you can afim premium ni do so. Bosumi edi kan be ko si afim premium ni do wotwe. Eye bosumi eto so nsia no. Ono odi dwuma se oda motive team oda ko bia no. Ya ko no motive team no na da woman no yo team leader. they call down money. Now, Omo, a Jumedia would be a Omudia Jumedia Cassiapa. Yanina Jumedia. I mean, I want for pimp, papa, not underscore alpha 4ph. Miss Yana Yana, you say, but the Yanking kind. So, Jumedia down. I mean, oh boy, enough from the year pa. I mean, Jumakwa, or down, no, Mudi Jumedia one. Not Jumedia, high profile staffs, high profile organizations. And I think everyone down almost be a bear boko. And no, you're not from dear come pa. Yeah, even with the high profile research, yeah, you move, yeah, to your boss. I mean, yeah, sample space near you Raham, you identify the problem. Now, for young device means I bet me idea solve a problem now. And also what down, yeah, or yeah, not from dear pa, or yeah, not from dear bibia, yeah, boko, or yeah, not from dear bibia. Yes, this is and you know, and after what I trust me much I catch a quarter. A bunch of research of operational projects for major financial institutions, including TSB, Lloyds Bank, Allianz, and HSBC. TSB, Lloyds Bank, Allianz, and HSBC. Omo ye nhwem research ahodo. Asa tu anamon bebre de momo. Anamon bebre na omo tu de momo no. Na ebi efa research won medical aka nhwem ahodo ya aka. Ni nyina omo ye. Ya oye no so. Ohwe ye ma bibia ye boko. Say de se fata. Na for what was what say I worked closely with clients and senior stakeholders to define delivery scope, establish compliance protocol, and align workflows with governance requirements. What say? Say you ready about the yanko pardon. Onya akonya no ye. Oye ye pa. Oye na fam die ye pa. Ya oye ya kwa maniko ko si say. Okay, so we mate. Oye maniko ko si say. Empokra efa say one, I mean, one more, not a here services, Eddie free or more, Jumedi, no one here more, dear free or more. Afe companies out where na car, Ubia, and so ebe here more, having penny for what chef with Jumedi and Udina, or don't win a kaboom, Eddie Jumedi Palma, Jumedi Diano. Bibia Boko, or more, a bit is a delivery scope, or define a M. So there be BBC, young fan saying, say, Sana Bibia, Yan, yeah, I mean, the standard not to what Bibia Boko. I feel than Chenya. Or something say, one more establish a compliance protocol, align with workforce, with governance requirement. Let's say, I mean, a buying dear, yeah, never be a buying to a government standard, government requirement. And so you may call no way, you almost say, on be establish and something you may be work when say, oh, said yeah, a bunch of university engineer, you may call ya within this short time. Also, you be say, move forward to a so say, na moya a binary too, a year in line with a binary share, a year in line with government requirements. He said, a bay be you may go on way doing na near Mumbai, a very standard, name quite Sampa, and I say, a quite substandard in tea. Then you now or coca, you may go on cabin somewhere. Oh, my ye, Abia, the Akosua. I'm a Yako pardon, says ya, some stations are more year doing, or no year doing now. Okowa, the track record of the footprint on them. Sans okay, be because we team leader on a dower, or more team on we are doing or dower one, and on we are doing ya. A year crowding from Subia Mountain or catch record we are from 2017 to 2018. After it was to be more say, till you was other mouse that between June to them the proof of partner, yeah, they might other man. That bit, but then be anyway, or catch record can also, or no, can also. The Bob Brandy and I say that between June and November 2008, it was say, Ofi Ralph see any evidence. I asked him, Ralph, also I asked him, maybe all the evidence I can ask SBT Quadan court there, whatever. Ofi 2017, basically 2018, June Iba. Or check say, I say, so June now free, baby, I know one. If it's June 2018. And it goes in November 2018. That's the best of 5 months. The film pim you only do what trade. Abosu in Sianu, Aqua de Cosi, a film pim menu, and do what trade. Abosu do back on that's about 5 months from June to November 2018. So, yeah, she wants what year Juma pa. Yeah, Juma, yeah, as well the open month. So, Juma, yeah, say, I worked as a compliance analyst at the Royal Bank of Scotland, during which time I successfully managed and completed end-to-end client onboarding life sake. Okay, I'm in front of I'll say that between June and November 2018, I'll say I worked as a compliance analyst at the Royal Bank of Scotland, during which time I successfully managed and completed end-to-end client onboarding life cycle by conducting due diligence. That's into brackets CDD and EDD. Do what you say? Every after period do what you move. Abosumi nsianu. Everybody be see after period do what you move. Abosumi do back. Yes. June to November 2018. And also what did you make yes no papa? You do the NSF or your Juma say compliance analyst. Yes, what to know say and some to know say na you do the SNS on to know say analyze be now we are to we are to say na be bia kama. Yes, I do with this Abraham. Or your Royal Bank of Scotland, you call Scotland. This year bank, Royal Bank, or no. I want to this argument. As Abraham or no, the name dear, the Hunumu. Nanama, I say when you need any Hunumu to know. Or to the what's your managing your money? No managing your money, man, you could say. Empokra end-to-end client onboarding life cycle. Say, if I Obini or you may Royal Bank be 2 and won't be. Yeah, on say yeah, if be end-to-end encryption, say be coded, be between one nipa no one need deal no. So now obi no obi call, let's say code be wa. Yes, say I na WhatsApp kwa say this end-to-end encrypted. Let's say third party be any. Nipa no one no no ane kasa no. Say video call, say normal call. Nipa no ane kasa no. Or na call no third party be any. No, I mean we intercept one dey na mo yen. And also ye nua ba esu chem say, say be nyina no, odijumadi so nkopa. Now, no, I'm actually you also would and say, okay, Royal Bank of Scotland, or manage, completely end-to-end client onboarding life cycle by conducting due diligence. What was the same good from? If there be a problem, be a Royal Bank of Scotland who facing the and tell them, I mean, me say, and no now client in the bank need delay be a boko. Now come out third party be mama for how money be about to enough from there. A concordance son copa. Emma, no so ye boko ye chire nyina ye tin aha oni amane bia amache no so ye nsem bia oka and what says how dey no call ye no or conduct it what said ye ye timi bo amas bi ba enti also or conduct due diligence what no boss dey same goods ni wa print ho eye bibia nkakran ne kwanso na due diligence or conduct ye no e bi ni CDD and afa EDD yeah and also what him say transaction monitoring for high risk clients successfully unraveled. That's into bracket UBO ownership structures for complex legal entities. That's trusts, SPVs, corporations, charities, monitoring transactions, investigating of SOW and SOF. Next, Jim money be aware and being say, Afe, all can say on a boama be a bocosana. Oko bank wa, the money be aware and being said, or monitor transaction for a client who be on the bank never be 2 and among be na nipa ya hwe bia niema on the bank na be transaction on the bank na be bia na chena bi di ha na mani bi ba e bia na chena bi I mean enkonkoboa ni na ohwe so mo te bibia ma bibia iboko se ya bia obi on the bank bi to na mo nipa na hu se onso ko bank na bia o diska bi ye hwe na ska bi ha beto account we asem bia meka se meti we na makoye se be $20 million abeto na account mo a me ko bank na meka se o ska se abeto account na de na be verify na de a ayo crap on be first of all be ko du man na now, come there was you and prepared here $20 million. And here, you might go and where you can say scam. On says, I want to see. And maybe it's a corner because you must order $1 million to my account. On the doubts, now, I brand here, we are when you scale with 2 accounts. A dear Juma now, I mean, over show proof of finance. I want to say, be a Juma saying, and I'm a me mass, I scale with 2 accounts. It's be a house in the city. And then I hear you say, clients, yeah. Normally, the Royal Bank of Scotland, it's 1 among. Or share a year from the RSO. Ombo monitor, I mean, clients be it's never be now, how near money be never be crabby on the bank and a no. Oh, sha, Biana at your how near money be back, and then now, or my telling them be a boko. Afe, or sounds to the boss, Emma Kaka, will ye be among a baby and somewhere. Echo whom said the empom legal structures no as legal entities. Since be quiet diane mu draw only na to mbo ase ekọ ensem no ba form a e ma yetin ensem no ase yi said yes na efata with respect to banking relations and they say bia I mean complex legal entities be to say corporations charities near there or transaction na no monitor to say bia company be entity be corporation be charity be or money bank no a transaction near there bia no monitor say bia e be yoboko said ya ese na efata nti wo ye nyama bebre of the Royal Bank of Scotland from Denise Nekase, Josephine, Denise Nekase, and from June 2018, and you could see November 2018 here. ɔyɛ n'afɛm deɛ paa yɛ sɛ fata yɛ akɔ Royal Bank of Scotland a abusua the track record da hɔ no wɔn nyinaa yɛ nneɛma a ɔyɛ yɛ na afei wɔsɛ to so na ɔka nsɛm bebree yɛ nsɛm no bi afei wɔsɛ ka no sɛ efi saa November 2018 a ofiri hɔ no yɛsɛ abusua wo de message ɔmo ame no nsuo kakra wa madaroma wɔatwa mo damase abusua wɔatwa mo damase madaroma okay enti no ɔka nsɛm wɔ nyina wie ɛna ɔsɛ ato so bi 2018 a ofiri Royal Bank of Scotland ɛna ɔsan ba that 2018 now from November 2018 it goes to November 2020 that's 2 years afempimienu ne de afempimienu ɛne du wɔtwem bosome du ba akona de kosi afempimienu ɛne aduonu bosome du ba akona no ɔse ɔyɛ adwuma sonko pa na yentie I worked at JP Morgan Chase as a KYC business analyst or client data analyst where I provided regulatory advisory and KYC oversight across JP Morgan's legal entities. And it was one year, 2018 November, it is 2020 November. That's 2 years in film. I think people do what you want, but some do back on. I could see. I think people near you know. But some do back on. Oh yeah, you know with JP Morgan Chase. Yeah, no, you know now you're a business analyst. To her say, adwuma ya ekos no yen hwe ne ya na yen to ebo asehwe oh yen say BBC de ebeboa aho na ne to nsane ya ni hwe de nyam sam to nsane ya ni ahwe de ebeboa nya de no so ye adwuma di odi adwuma ho afi no so a client data analyst enti first of all ohwe na business ni ade adwuma si ko e wo JP Morgan ho a Chase wa ohwe adwuma si ko yen say e betimi am ayet mi increase revenue e say bia revenue aba from ade ti kwa na aba sa ye dey say to say ye dey innovate mi ba be bo anya ade no kan and after san so e adwuma as client data analyst ni na say one ni JP Morgan when from pony JP Morgan Chase e to anamo no client ya no mu to anamo nyina no so ono to ne boase ya to ne boase na ohwe say obe analyze omo be study client no say de omo adwuma die sitie afa omo be client no ebi go client do say no omo edi adwuma client no emema say no ma do say no client no omo so say brebe no tai eni etu na brebe na business co from tini na no yes analysis no it was okay eni bre say na demands ba so dia bre say yenye say oh say be meet demands no bre say bi a demands no for one eni bi a ye minimize yen supplies I mean say the business terms sitie no ni na or just say kama just mean say so how much did she support the father I say more okay enough a boy claims how come some kids betray their mother just say oh here we dey come on just mean say was she a father's manager there be some brand just mean say oh just na or yeah adwuma was Royal Bank of Scotland no me adentina them say why busy panti abusia and also the kakra ya okan December November 2018 to November 2020 na yes adwuma dey and also it was we no chemu say aside Sanya Moye or Chimse, where I provided regulatory advisory and KYC oversight across JP Morgan's legal entities. And you know, so how do you make a question? Or Tony Bossy, at your footwool, not or tie their footwool Emma. Afe, or dear footwool ma, I said an American so, or as a BBC I touch ma, and your Munya say, one on my kama. And then Chenya, after one also share over CBBR, it's not BBS where I say, BBR but Tom ne quans, BB in Kotobaha. Bibi say bibi ntia na bibia ye yie said yesene fata na aboa na ne o magina enso akoso one said yesene fata no so ensen bia obo so e de kire amansan afi oto aso bi no o say kasa busuan yentie o say kan se bi na o kire se nti o say aside san ya na o ye no o say provide legal entities of support yeah I mean oversight across JP Morgan ti bebe JP Morgan ne nyuma mu mramu e ma na kwa bebe nyuma du na no or share this among regulatory advice as a foot or to be my boko. After that, China also support a compliance alignment for capital marketers. Okay, also support a compliance alignment for capital market participation and cross-border financial activities. Intino, after Basse, Yanshe said, "You call a drama and Sony idea. Near my my business let me tumpon. Now, when I from the said, a drama so almost with JP Morgan, almost with me account be. No my competitive said the fata that may be I come so what it me okay they don't say anybody be oh yeah after you transfer or say I guess I say aside say am oh yeah na Abusia asase na mo yina no e ba say bia o man foforo call man foforo so a cross border financial activities ano so oboy pa ya o ye na fam de assist ye e ma bibia e ye asumtwe after say o san analyze business requirements nti bia oh nyema bi say na ebehia bibi say na ebehia say netimi atum ponsa na netimi business we na netimi aye na nyema ye yama ni na oto ne bo ase no tena se no hwe din da bi ha say yemfa wontu a yemfa we mfa ni na no ye e ma bibia kama said yes senefata after cross border financial activities say bia I mean omone free on my business be as a company be to an na enya one year war on mine na mun will be on my house no and so no agina mu bi na fam de say be pia kama so they say na fata after say on one analyze business requirement for person medical kan wasam ni na we kama said there is etie afei otoso bi no wo say ka bibi say afei client data gaps aba so ye ho aye no mo di dwuma ye client yi ase o mo data dwuma bi ase o check ya ensiso ase bibi to chema ni na wo say o di bibi aba tuna kwem said there ese na efata na no so aye kama parent you know ye afei operational processes ye nto ye bo ase ye nyi say ye nkwa yenra yenfa na ate bibi aye kama no so ye na afo say also, a regulatory documentation to support compliance, operations and risk departments on remediation, reporting and process improvement initiative. Now, tutu ana mo bebre ye boy ya che say ya mfa me bi yenkuchi na bi on kata so ze kwa na bi asiko na mti abefo ye document ni ma bi ni hu se da bi abebi this is the standard ya set ya ma ho we ye be ya yemfa ra we ye be ya yemfa fa we ye be ya yemfa kwa na so to ne bo ase edomu sukọ eye ni na kama said ya ese na efata ye ni na ya oye no hu ni se ni na nso boy e ma ebesi ne nyimako ya o kan no mo ye adwuma yi se ya JP Morgan Chase and any ade na no bibia ye kama as the chase of companies no o ye ma ni na bibia ye kama ye bibia e ya asomdwe ye no kwenti o ye ya ma ko du ba bi se and regulatory documentation or the work community e bo ba support say adwumadie be koso kama eno ka ho e bo ba support operations day to day administration ya dey no so be ye kama pa and afei oye ya ma bi we akra say oh this yanti obi kura ya report about company no niam aba na niam say the niam city you know to no boss for coaching na bibia aye kama buzi amon fa chema dara na bibia aye kama and afei osan so to no boss niam oye yin anti obo ama ode niam aye betimi aye na ma company na improvement initiatives so ono ato no boss e de big akwan mu a enam na niam obe yenti bo ama just a business e boom ye niam course so ye say na chain kan no ti no ni na ono ansa na odwuma e na oto ne boss de bi maintenance me nhwe ma niam anye basa o ye ni na kama say dey say na efata ya no so yes sister e na kaso kan e if all kaso ye 2020 November 2020 a free one and afi e ba 2021 afin pimienu ene de no ba ko say that between April to October 2020 from April to October 2021 any day adwumadi no di any ebedi mo kwa that seminar all can say free April to October 2021 afin pimienu ene edi just you know about just afin pimienu ene aduonu ba ko bosom edunu mu afin pimienu aduonu ba ko bosom 9 no mo ade ko si afin pimienu aduonu ba ko bosom edunu no so odwumadi bi dwumadi odi en say odwumadi awodo pa ya oye senior analyst what you say oye senior analyst yes senior analyst oye no associate senior analyst of obe contractor ya no obe nyina nso oba ehwe say efa say yentu anamon transaction monitoring audit na yenhwe say transaction is ska bi afri ha kwa ha ska bi afri asimasi wa kwa mento ska bi afri ha ba ha ene yema mehwe sika no abi a waji fri akwa ane ade no ne kwan so na yen auditing hwe say I mean lapses bi ni mu ana you know to no bo say ehwe say I mean there are no infraction bia wo mi say the sene fata nti na to no bo say kama pa ya you know ka wa say nti that year na and what say oda ekuwa ni mu a oye monitoring audit no and monitoring audit oye na just monitoring audit kakra bi say we are nipa bi to nipa bi oye high volume monitoring oye monitoring our high volume payment nti bi sikatu ya wo bi a we are be asem kan bi $2 million e bi $500,000 e bi $300,000 e bi $400,000 e bi $100,000 e free ha kwa ha e bi $50,000 e bi asem kan me na me kan e bi $40,000 e free ha kwa ha e free ha ba ha ɔho sɛ de sitie ɛne maame yɛ tena mehwɛ sɛ daabi ɛnyɛ sɛ bia na da bi kɔ so a na wahwɛ a me check yɛ na mpa no korɛ infraction bi ani ɛne yɛ ɛne nti na ɔno a na hwɛ boae ɛyɛ na fam deɛ kama pass de sene fata ebesi na bɔne bia ma ebesi na ni na ɔkyɛ kɔ deɛ nti a court ɔsɛ court ma ne kwan na ɔbɛka letters of administration ho no ɔbɛyɛ a co-administrator out that Lumba a letters of administration grant na ɔno ɔkyerɛ the profile ne nneɛma a wayɛ a ɔkyɛ sɛ o sɛ matimi ayɛ wei nyinaa de court ɔma me kwan deɛ wei deɛ ɛm sɛ mɛyɛ ne kuku so ɔn so de sitie saa na ɔno ɔka yɛ ntimi ɔde kɔdan court no enti yɛtoa so na ɔkyerɛ sɛ ɔkyerɛ saa nsɛm wei nyinaa ho na ɔsɛ ka biribi wɔ asɛ afei apart from so ɔhwɛ na ɔmonitor high level payments just finya some ketewa ɛyɛ OTC linked flows no transactions outdoor no across global wallets na ade na ɔhwɛ nti sɛ sikatua bi free ɔman fra kwa ɔman hodo so free ɔman baabi bi a ɔman no ɔyɛ adwuma no akɔ bi a ɔman bi a wɔakyi baabi a ni na ɔde tiri na hwɛ sɛ da bi sika ya na free akɔ bi a Venezuela bi a I mean Switzerland bi a Czech Republic bi a just wɔ Germany bi a Germany any crowd aka na kyese odwen ho a na ɛha adwenti no ɔno na be no audit nyame ado wɔ de so bibia kama na bakwa ma performance improve ɛwɔ companies no mu a bibia yɛ yinti na sɛ ɔyɛ na fam de boy pa ebesi na ɔmo kabo ne din da bɔ na baso ne na de ka modern man nti ɛno nso kakra ya ɔka ɛna afọ what was no say apart from sani ma ɔyɛ nyina ɔsan so kyerɛ sɛ ɛyɛ no nko a ɔsan ne IT for no kabom. Wow, it was I further collaborated with IT and compliance and risk to improve routine logic for cash management and controls and rule-based scenarios. So when IT for any compliance for any risk management and risk for any kaboom, and will be enough from the city bear, between ama impuntu aba a quite obefa so na wato to niamamu says kasem to ye and afenya no kwa yedemra ebeto niama bebre ho. So the bear, if you actually because it's scaby na yet to discuss ye no, and non answering. Also, this scaby free alcohol, was a scaby, ye transaction being at the almost them raton, or share my almost them raton, to be at me flip your copy and for time seek a now. One found could one among me, or be at me flip your copy, no time seek a pro, so no found ra, no found coffee. A bus say hydrogen plant, now one again enough from the other boy. Our companies are on your marriage, my work can be one someone say so. And therefore, what was me saying that I also worked at BNP Paribas as a senior onboarding specialist contractor between November 2021 to January 2022. Therefore, 3 months. A free abosome do bako a film pimienu any odionu bako. Adekosi when he obi aka business ya. I would say obi say okay, candidate Welena. Also say, was there any way to go change judge now matter? Yeah, just say I ask him ni o dey burning crab and butcher. Or say abusia o chem no kasa kwabne kan wo bia ante say wa mo din ba me na meka. Say after was said djumadi so nko pa. Na djumadi so nko awadi no. Odi no BNP Paribas. Yeah, no a senior onboarding specialist. Contractor, that means that was on contract, me sure, yes, on contract. The fee I think premier no near the new back, but some do back on. Aquari kosi I think premier no near the new mienu. Bosumi edikan January, so November 2021 to January 2022. Odobroni outdoor, yeah, and on risk and transformation consultant, senior associate, and also after senior onboarding specialist. November 2021, they could see January 2022. After was answer PwC risk and transformation consultant. Senior associate, and no, April 2022 to January 2024. So, Juma Hopa and Yasan, yeah, no, risk. Until the far, be a far risk, and you may be essay, I be toba, and you'll be a here, do how they money banner. Risk bar, it means I know I saw, I maybe be able to go on a profile now, or cannot. I believe be out just a risk bar. To me, no, I can't go back company because you may be toba, Sikasamia Basa, you be a Yamia Patak, be risk bar. Bongrama. As we move on to we move forward here, move forward na BBI kama. And no am why yes and what you want say a basi manage risk there. Em say no so ni so what as for us so. So the nekata e work kan your mother roma. Enti no so che say what this edge me no anya some ketua. Afei it also say CIBC regulatory outreach senior associate contractor and also January 2025 to April 2025 and so this adwumadi na na fam dia na enya asem ketu akra afi was actually say World Financial Group senior compliance officer no say contractor and so contractor June to November 2025 and so di adwumadi sonko pa afi o chere say December 2025 and so no ebra say sabre kwan papa yi nyame dia ya o say sabre no so okay free June or say July na papa yi nyame dia ti o chere say from that brand papa in Yamedi in Aqua, no, a senior compliance officer. Yes, our World Financial Group. Wow, okay. There's papa in no a senior no a senior compliance officer contract World Financial Group. And unfortunately December 2025 year answer. Now or Africa Prosperity Network. Now you're volunteer as also a partnerships and sponsorship officer. It's necessary also did you media son kupa one more busia enya asem ke 20 when na yensem no bia ma mehwe se I think say bi da so ya yen kwansa no do so busia munya bote e be kinka ni na wate na ha I think say so to so aka nsem bebre yes it no ye ensem no bia o kan so why ye wo wiase ze wiase ma ho do so de em say be bia wonya adwuma ho no na bia ya kwa na metrim no real da ya na metrim say on say contract ye ya na ye foul say na even teaching na say na MPP aban no so mo de everybody na say NAPCO contracts abo fa na akọcha de e bia okoye adwuma e wo institution bi mu na ya mouth stipend 3-year contract the contracts ne de so mo no ko 6 months so na so omo pa no be renew the amount and on pa bi omo tima mechanize na with time we be regular staff form yes as that but that's pass what chim say am for tiase say be obi an so be tiase ti na busia be so say no so kan na most of them they are contract na free and not boss but I now say a part of the learning curve and a growth process. I mean professional growth. So what I say. And I don't see anything to be our boss. What to was we say I'm for hit or comment or we are you are looking can be a comment. Now I say more I'm for you be great with say any as I tell there I then I went to me and for we be can say question you know what is here. Some run the cars I say oh and as I experience we now I don't one firm on another company. I say was I would tell you what that so I get it be a matter of time. So as somebody who also channel again share me pa also me contract so as somebody we need the media know okay the answer was I chance be no busa o chem say that in the life tin you abusa o chem say wa so bobo ne ma wa ye nyina so e na afi wa ba na o chem say hey asembe ba de bi abusa o de meba wa kasa ansemu na o ka bibi di a chere court because on say wa bobo so to o ka bibi e dey ache court wa enya asam ketwa ti na sisi ya so ye bechem say wa bobo say maye we me firi akwa ha maye we ni ade enti so wa ye we nyina ade a enye me ba bechem wa che court de enti a me hu se court e boa me a na say o ma me kwan na be part of the administrators be part of the co-administrators be boa amani o maye boko enti ni na say we dey kan ma court ho ne bobre ene say dey sitie be bia wo sua de adu be bia wo ye adwuma adu enti o say yeah, because that's in the light of my extensive background spanning inter-alia finance, regulatory, compliance, audit, client management, stakeholder engagement, oversight of complex business structures, controls and governance procedures to support regulatory compliance and risk mitigation efforts. And you know what I say? And now say, what's your idea? What's your idea? Now, so as I'm you make crowd do a 2 and more year you might be breaking. So, I was saying, knowledge no one. A catty across. Sikasem to the Yama be brave. Ye been say yent to Yama. I mean, a cassia across Sikasem Finance County or no. Also, the cash of the car so about financial services or home dear. No, I'll be chim or have bob so. Because Yama way now, on say, do how chim say, or no companies to be crowd or no one, a cock be no, I say, there be Mukas names to Muskasem yet, and the young for Bimra, young funny Memwam say, you beat me out the 2 Misica. I mean, it's going to be free out quite, but say, no console to watch or catch a court say. So extensive background here, crown on Yamia on the mobile domain. And to acquire when you be brave, ye been say your best cassanto to your expert to near Bako. After compliance and so you're interested be better than a quemu. Now, I mean, yeah, go in line with senior standards at Dawa and also no, or acquire me pa. After audits, so you say, will be sick as same for baby. Now you're interested there be Sikawa Bansan and Kofa, if you can be there, Jumbo Kobiano or any Mabasa Basa, Sikasimwa. Or wait me all the time say, the audit assume say an Albanian man. We need no crown my. The audit assume say an answer Albanian man. Infractions be problem. The infractions be problem there. And yɛhwɛ and so the way afa or the way ra ɔho sɛ deɛ siteɛ nti nyinaa ɔkyɛ sɛ wakwada no wɔ mu yie paa afei nyɛ no nkoa nti na sɛ ɔka yɛ ahyɛ kɔ sɛ saa nneɛma bi na ayɛ no experience sɛ ɔbɛnya access na ɔbɛyɛ kɔ administrator ɔnhwɛ sɛ obi bɛyɛ nneɛma bi ba saa sɛ wɔte aseɛ nsɛm nyinaa no ɔnhwɛ sɛ sika bi bɛfa baabi anaasɛ obi bɛyɛ nneɛma bi ba saa afei ɔkyerɛ sɛ client management nso wakwada no wɔ mu yie paa nti sɛ bia wo ne wɔn a patronize wɔn a ɛtɔ w'adeɛ anaasɛ wɔn a dwumadie na odi na wɔn ɛhwɛ wo anaasɛ wɔn a dwumadie na odi na wɔn na etu anamɔ sɛ yɛtoto na yɛhwɛ sɛ wɔn nso obi akoma bɛtɔ ne yam no nso wɔkɔda wɔn yie paa afei stakeholder engagement nso ɔyɛ expert oversight of complex business structures no nso wɔkɔda wɔn yie paa afei controls ɛna governance procedures to support regulatory compliance and risk mitigation efforts ɛna nso ne nyinaa wɔkɔda wɔn yie paa yɛ ɛnyɛ asɛm ketewa ɛna afei ɔtoa so bio ɛna ɔsɛ that during his lifetime, that during his lifetime, my father had several business interests and assets encompassing music, broadcasting, and other commercial enterprises. It was just a brand papa that Lumba tias no. Papa that Lumba no wo nyuma ahodo bebre. Nyuma ahodo bebre no wo no. Eya no kwa wo nyuma ahodo bebre na ne gye nyuma ahodo bebre ho. Ɛna for sanso ɛwɔ japade ahodo bebre. Na ebi fa nyom ton nyina anim sɛ that Lumba Music Institution ana wɔ hɔ. Of ebi fa broadcasting na sɛ ne it is adwuma ya online ne ade ɛna yɛ traditional media and me sure sɛ broadcast yɛ media and media some okay na sɛ DLFM what I say ɛne nyuma kwa do aka I mean sɛ DLTV kwa so hɔ on social media internet self ne nyina na DLFM yeah the traditional radio and afi online which is more like a TV station, you know, and also can be broadcasting. And I've watched also other commercial enterprises. There's a size anywhere in answer that number. Now, sounds what other commercial enterprises people are and you answer to. I've say the administration thereof demands a high the administration thereof demands a high level of professional competence and expertise commensurate with the scale and the diversity of the interests involved. It was say, and I'm saying, Papa, no, what's animal we now call our we no why you winning it. Oh, the worker, no, what you want me at as a week comment war. Pakistan, US, need run war, I would say, hey, also more, hey, and then one for it to comment as you. It was young, but here, Rebecca will be a comment to my mother, Mutin at baby. It was say, or come will be at to say, when experience Nini Yama woman in a year. Ono yo hu ye pa se de papa eja pade ene nneoma papa aye weche ne ade no e ho behia se ne ntoto ya no ene se ye de abeto ye ne administration ene se nneema nyina de beto ye no e ho behia pa se ye benya obi ate ne o eh e ho behia se benya obi o high level professional competence next one no so say or high level professional competence afei osan so technical expertise na technical know-how and so saa nimdie ni nyinaa enti ohun sɛ ɛno bɛboa ma ɛnam so ɔno wɔ saa nimdie ni ade ewe nyinaa nti obetumi agisa no na sɛ the scale and diversity of interest sɛ that Lumba japade ne ade ne mo agya wakyire sɛ bia asemasi ɔbɛnti obia epe bi wom obia ɛwɔ kyɛfa wo nti no ohia obia ɔwɔ saa professional skills no ɔwɔ that competence no professionally sɛ bɛyɛ ɔbɛtuna ɛnkɔyɛ basa ɔbɛtuna bibia ɛbɔkɔ sɛ bɛyɛ assume obia benya ne de we nsa be kan de obenten nsa be kan de assume be kan de na say I don't know the opposite chance say minima de but that's only all that technical expertise technical know how now in that way no is he trying to say bia so obi all there on there yeah the man one say ya want me to well I say more why you can read meanings into it I say more ebe afei also to be no say that I also assisted with the management and development of social media and online channels. Wow. You are so on will be able to say. Just go for that Lumba. The social media and then the online say your social media channels and that Lumba official Facebook page, your YouTube official that Lumba, your YouTube or TikToks will be or how do I mean I'm sure it's IG normally at the end I will be or yeah they will be on. What's I say one in your bed? Or can be and that Lumba the social media page they develop that Lumba Facebook page e kokko tie nwom ho na ye kohwe ne ma fa papa ho afeni especially YouTube page na ye attack or pa ko tie nwom ne ade o say o ka won no develop sa social media ne social media handles no ye nua ba o ka ho bi because why expert e wo nyama bi to nyama hwesi bia ba ye bokọ no medika ba kenka wa chim se nyama wa ye no Royal Bank of Scotland na akọ ebi wo ho amom banks how do aka wo wiase bi ni na okoko won ye adwuma ho mom da wa bia bokọ na sa man for kra okokọ just me say oh just me nya ade okay just me say just me say oh just me say just me when there I would say and some people are hard dream but when they o say o ka ona ye establish me ko na be no be mumpu I go na o say ye establish that Lumba ni social media pages no oko Facebook that Lumba just that Lumba in capital letters but me subscribe no tie nyom ni ade oko YouTube is your official that Lumba o chese no o ka ho ana sa page na develop enti man ma obi a na ada ya say bia o ka ho no ye develop sa page na that page na busia wa mo hwe aboko tie nyom anu mani age no o fast dama Denise no ka ho ye develop sa page no enya no kwa o sa say aside say develop page no I mean social media handles no and the online channels na be dik ya cheche no afi o sa ka ho bi and I manage on the develop na say management na o ka ho bi a obo ama o manage ye ma bia ye boko enti chese wo dwen ho a that's why ye ne ma bebre sa mo chese why ye ne ma bebre e de aboa and I've what also been on say aside so obo ma ye developing and managing for social media handles no o say as well as related platforms and companies including DLFM enti na say impo DLFM ko ka ho bi develop e and how management na o ka ho bi and a DLFM ko akra sabi obo ma ye develop ya sabi ni an obo adwuma e wo ho say the city to account be to DLFM which it's rather Bravo Media Limited account be ye di go akwem afa tie Lumba Super yes Lumba Super so yeah e wo mountain so am for tonom down o kire say Lumba Super so account be yeah na from the wom na ba management development of sani em here ni na no why na from the why and na sani em na I mean etimi ebegu akwem so what you say ni na we na from there and ebegu akwem said you say na efata nti no mama ye nti ase sa abuzu mama ye nti ase why na from there pa dia boa yes nti and yes ni bi oka after say Lumba Super no che say akwala ye Lumba Super kan any friend akwala production and trading limited okay matia after che say your deal foundation ya na foundation for that Lumba and also why na from there pa ni na da nchan ya or just say other associated interests if we afimpim mienu ene aduonu mienu ayabosumi du ba kono ade be si na ya ma na okase Yesu Kristo wo achi afimpim mienu aduonu sia abosome enum da to so aduonu enkon ye na dey if we afimpim mienu aduonu mienu ba why any ma bebre ade aboa no papa nyuma di awodo bebre yeah just say ebia na ni ni but one dey why na from dey aboa pa and after what was no say tie abusiam that during my father's lifetime I had initial access to and involvement with his online channels and worked alongside matters relating to his online distribution and digital presence. It was say a break one papa that Lumba tiason. Na or access asase na or akwanya say fa that Lumba the online channels says the YouTube no na Facebook ni ate na asase na o ni na wo akwanya wo ho ya oye na fam die ono amanfo na ka bo mu ama o nyina ye ya ebo ama on say yes uta okodo na we na America. That Lumba, one of the musicians. Something I come and produce no name. Not much they do now, but that Lumba social media handles are very vibrant. Young kind of question. Facebook, for instance, also they be out post to be view. If we be out chasing now, so now come and produce and I'm for with the music. I also know you nyame dia no. Who say be your the official Facebook page crowd. So how can na? And your vibrant there Lumba, your vibrant no. Then you be say, "Oh no, can be na that Lumba Facebook page na your vibrant ah." After you can be and that Lumba the YouTube page na busua and also I vibrant ne ye nyina ni gise ye ko nye ko tie nyom na ne me kwabna usumi ko tina wa betimi e tie Lumba nyoma no pato e wo YouTube wasa so wasa se me kwabna usumi ni dia men kai so no Denise o kan o bi o ye na fon de e the boy pa enya asem ketwa enti yes enti ono and the boy ne papa a presence e wo online media no so ntina fi so e ye de dia ye na de bi e ka e de hwa yon se de I say na fatality or say was the bia yen count so the encounter and after abusia or say to aso bi no what you say that a review of the inventory filed by the applicants the application for letters of administration shows that the properties forming part of the estate of my father range from invaluable properties music and companies including Nezo Church Japadini bia I mean na ni papa Japadi awodo ya oka say me crown so wa ebinie I mean some of the estates no bi Bravo Media Bravo Multimedia Limited, that is DLFM, as we know, okay. Akwala Ghana Limited, and only, or just say, only Lumba Super, yes. After DL Foundation, not so home. Afei Aquala Construction Limited and also ho. Okay, Aquala Production and Trading Enterprise. Me just want to Lumba spam on the one. And afei Aquala Production and Trading Limited and also ho. Afei Lumba Productions Limited and also ho. Afei that the Lumba Foundation also ho. And that's the DL Foundation or that Lumba Foundation. Wow. And afei yes, I will DL Online ni na ho no. And afei what chim no say ka bi say. Okay. Abusuanti afei na what chim. Ena outside ka bibi wa na no kwa wan fa ye do yin fa enkata e do so come na so okay awan fa abusuan mepa awan fa yeah enti ma bobo san ma we na so that was no say that in addition to the above mentioned companies and the items listed in the inventory attached to the application for the grant of letter of administration, the disease also had during his lifetime the underlisted properties. So some bobo asara niam bobo so nyina any companies bobo so I mean we companies in kwan no if you ni ade de no asem nyama but companies are bobo swing now say aside our companies are bobo swing now the papa that Lumba assign so ewo ejapade awodo a e ka ne din ho okay so that in addition to the above mentioned companies and the items listed in the inventory attached to the application for the grant of letters of registration, the deceased also had during his lifetime the unlisted properties aside nyama we now papa that Lumba osan nyama bebre ho no mo a eno no boss no dey actually amansan said dia amanfo besi ati ase nti ebi ne dey ene dey o say ma me hwe na me fa no so ntuso abusia ensem no chese ya asemu okay well a bread and crabia and a better nti yenye gidi ene enso nyame se ono ankasa da bi nyewe ya abusia madaroma me pese bi no to so ho se be ya okay so I don't cry him from pony okay e dey no chem say avo bobo japade awodo a e wo won so 50-acre palm plantation at Nkaria in the Ashanti region of Ghana. Oh, Obekaya, Abra, you Kumasi High Court for one year legal wife, one year in Adian. And I go for Zubeka said, though Lumba will be out and this year, but maybe now Uncle Tradia, young Katra. I could do Granabro for ginger, no ginger, as I could do a fool. Ewo Nkaria ti no twam bia ko Nkaria na ofa ana ko fi so no achia no ena emayi na se eni abeka se papa no 50-acre palm plantation I want Nkaria Ashanti region ti ana yabako after one was 7 plots of land wo wager bawe na se wager Greater Accra after that was plot 4 plots of land Ben Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology Kumasi and after was say yes, also cry. I pensar how fear would the yammy now. Is an any letter of registration more. They can't be just waiting that crack account. And after what the adding now says a court man crying. Now may a co-administrator. After all trust not say to one same way in house never all trust not say that I am advised by my counsel and verily believe same to be true that given the wide scope of items falling within the estate of the deceased, including various companies which are going concerns, it is imperative that the grant of the letter of administration is carefully managed to ensure that companies set up by the deceased and his legacy in general do not fall into ruins subsequently. Wow. Opache saying, what did the Opache say? Was it what the mommy says to be only 10 years? Was it? Was it 10 years? That I am advised by counsel, listen, lawyer didn't know, but that I am advised by counsel and verily believe same to be true that given the wide scope of items falling within the estate of the deceased, including various companies which are going concerns, I'm just maybe a growing up as well, well, anyway, which are going concerns, which are going concerns, it is imperative that the grant of the letters of administration is carefully managed to ensure that companies set up by the deceased and his legacy in general do not fall into ruins subsequently. And I say, I know the outcome will be out here. Say, we hear Papa Japade, any nearma ahodo oye, any nearma chasebia, why ye diabwa, outcome will be out to say, Ebeye yase Papa ibe aye nyamidie. Na ekina bi yebeda sorry papa Japade ya obeye ye niema obeye ni ade nyina no yesi aye basa niema bi apan be ni ade nyina yesi yu nwachiri aye basa na yesi basa be hadwen basa bi papa legacy kra na ye eba be ye basa ye ntimi nkontrol nyu bi ma ne mehwe so ye na kina bi papa ye bro obebo ye se de wiase na bagine tum se de Ghana man na bagine tum no ne ye bisa Lumba ye hu no anase ye bisa Lumba bi a waya ye hu no nti de na wo se court na osre court se court ni hwe ye na nka ohun se de obesi grant letter of administration na se ohun se court no e the letters of administration e koma obi a sa na wo ka no nyam na America court the letter of administration koma obi a bi e be ha adwen ebi ana nipa no wantimi an control nyama ye kina bi na that Lumba ejapade nyina aye basa kina bi na Lumba ejapade nyina aye bibia o nti wonno so se bibia mo na ka court nhwemu yi ansa na letter of administration no or guarantee nti no ano so ye kakra ya oka afa yanto aso na yenti another one ya oka wabon sem bebre so oka ya check court nti de di kan no se court nhwe na on hwe se letters of administration no or guarantee am fa nkomo obi akwa go bi o ha command china bi na e kwa akwa asem aba bu ha command china bi se de oka na akwa ha na amane aba but ono de o gidi se o da brand o gina brand o sua de adrechi ti se court no man kwan na o man se 2 minutes want to sa na no a be hwe ni na pepepe obi anti mebu obi afa so obi ene ma ne nse japade ne nse because wa ya adwuma Royal Bank of Scotland akoya adwuma wo JP Morgan akoya adwuma wo che se e se wiase be bia kwa wo tini ama ho de obebre so ya wa adwuma wo ti on pese wa ko di be ne say I don't know is she trying to say bia ya ma me Akosua Serwaa all pellets of administration no e bia o ni didi say bia ma me betimi aye ne o me ya na say o je a o be say ne me bia na say like okay well ha dwen nti ene ya ba ko said osno lawyer na tunofo that I am advised by counsel and verily believe same to be true that given the wide scope of items falling within the estate of the deceased, including various companies which are going concerns, it is imperative that the grant of the letters of administration is carefully managed to ensure that companies set up by the deceased and his legacy in general do not fall into ruins subsequently. The court no interest will see a granted letters of administration. Okay, court no okay. Court no just will see a granted letters of administration. So the be na bi obi ajapade and as that no be ajapade ne yama oja weche no enkoye basa na enko se no yensem a oka e ho no afei ye to so bi mu say ye nhwe nsem no bi a okay na yensam fa no so ho asem ensom amansan no kwa ohemfa ye to so no che say tiwele and the tune for say that I am advised by counsel and verily believe same to be true that a proper and efficient management of these business entities and the other items listed in the inventory attached to the application for letters of administration for the benefit of all persons entitled at law to the estate of disease will require a high level of expertise. What's a high level is expertise, experience, commitment, and accountability. The one also was a cardiac chairman saying, I say, oh, share the lawyer near to the phone. Then say, counsel not to know advised by counsel. Now, advice by counsel, the man, or believe same. I mean, the advice by counsel, counsel to be the money be, I believe same. And then I watch say, I know the outcome will be at it. Say, counsel what you know for. Now, counsel foot to the man, or you to buy, or you to say, oh, she said, yeah, that Lumba Java dear is a door so far. Na efane efa obia preso obenya bie efane efa obia nya bese da bi ajapade dem de sefata bi opesa ne nsaka no o se court say anka court enya hwe yi court enya hwe yi hu se da bi enya obia na wo se de letters of administration man the man grant letters of administration just like that say they no can you na yen say nipa de letters of administration be man no ye de sha ne nsa na nipa de sha ne nsa say eba enimdie mu amekyia wo masua mu anase professionally eba entutuye ye fa I mean emra ene say ye to ajapade bi ye hwese bibia ba ebokọ na bibi ntochima ye hwese nipa na de ne ma no sha ne sam okura sa nimdie we nyina se de be ye china bi enkofa ha ne amane bi ama enti eno so ye nsem no bi a ye nua ba ya boso a or de akodan court a ye di no so nkomo. So see that I am advised by counsel and verily believe same to be true that the proper and efficient management of these business entities and the other items listed in the inventory attached to the application for letters of administration for the benefit of all persons entitled at law to the estate of the disease will require a high level of expertise, experience, commitment, and accountability. Hey, wow. And the only was I don't know, say, court on say. And now I'm saying busuafo and I say obi amrama na kwan say wo sefata so wonya japade bi free that Lumba hon ɛno yɛ baako nipa no dɔɔso obi ebi ɔsɛ fata sɛ onye japadeɛ feeling ba ho te ɛnam sɛ japadeɛ so dɔɔso ne adeɛ si fɛnt no na sɛ yɛ ni wɔn ti no ɔno deɛ ohun no paa sɛ ɛbɛboa sɛ court bɛhwɛ sɛ obi a ɛde saa tumi no bɛhyɛ ne nsa sɛ I mean yɛbɛ grant no letters of administration no ɔyɛ obi a ɔwɔ high level expertise na sɛ I mean all that technical skills no respect to yɛ toto nneɛma adeɛ wɔ so wɔyɛ administrative ɛdeɛ ɛdeɛ akyerɛ kyerɛ mu sɛ financial ne audit ne adeɛ nti wɔn nso ɔde kan academic na nso ɔbɛkyerɛ mu saa no ɛna ɔsɛ kyerɛ mu sɛ obi ɔsɛ kura experience no ɔkyerɛ sɛ ɔwɔ experience because ɔyɛ adwuma wɔ ha ɔyɛ adwuma wɔ experience no ɔsɛ all that commitment and then accountability yeah ne nyinaa na ɔka wɔ asɛm ɛna afɔ ɔsɛ atɔ so bi mu sɛ that as a consequence of the immediately preceding paragraph, it will be in the interest of justice for this honorable court to appoint me as a co-administrator of the estate of the deceased to enable me to bring the experience and knowledge to bear on the effective, efficient, and transparent management of the estate for the benefit of all persons entitled to various shares and the estate. One you will say, the overhead and semi city, and he said, yeah, and here, Messi corner in Chimo, the Atom court now. Obviously, say, a bayer pepper. Ebe ye say pepper beba say court be ma kwan na wa appoint one ye nua bay say omra me a co-administrator na say omra me ka ho bi with respect to letters of administration omra me ka as a co-administrator of your maame and as your papa that Lumba na japade ahodo say the be boa na obe ka ho bi an say ne bonus one achim say obe ka ho bi I just experience also why adwuma with JP Morgan no money ade I mean just as Royal Bank of Scotland no money ade nyina what did you my so call it obeka ho bia Mr. Meka enya the bonus na mom de nti oba beka ho say oba beka ho no ahwe say the nim dia ya owo the knowledge after the experience ni su ehun awodo a wanya ene ni o ma awodo aka nyina no odi nyina bebem na odi aba bebo ase de be ya obi biara emra man ho kwan se wo se fata sɛ yɛ papa da Lumba na japade yɛ ka ho asɛm ɔsɛ fata sɛ wonya bi ɔsɛ fata sɛ ɔkyɛ fa wɔm no obiara benya ne deɛ sɛ deɛ sɛ ne fata no na nakoma atɔ ne yam na aboa mas medwa ba no nti ɛna ɔno deɛ ɔsɛ court sɛ nka court man kwan na ɔmra mɛka ho bi in the interest of all these issues na afei bibia ayɛ bɔkɔ sɛ deɛ ɛsɛ na ɛfata nti ɛno so yɛ nsɛm bi a wabɔ so ɛwɔ hɔ no de akyerɛ court the court man acquire because of signing money experience and knowledge outdoor have a effective and efficient transparent management any idea because and cover how any amani be amanunti and also court to say yes na efata now for it was not say that as a consequence of the okay no medical account okay yes no medical account afi or say that this affidavit is a filed bona fide and my inclusion as a co-administrator would ensure that the collective and individual interest of all the children and such other persons are entitled at law to a share in the estate of the deceased are adequately represented in the administration of the estate. What say? Okay, share court means say that this affidavit is filed bona fide, and my inclusion as a co-administrator would ensure that the collective and individual interests of all the children and such other persons as are entitled at law to a share in the estate of the deceased are adequately represented in the administration of the estate. When you say first of all, yes, working now or can't know their circle court ma kwan na obey co-administrator obey can be say to say papa japade na nyoma ba bibia ebokwa ebeboa pa ama onyina ade nkabo mu collectively aya of no dan chen a ebeboa na wahwe omo nyina busuani na say omo obi a brahman no kwan say osefata so onya japade bi afi papa no omo nyina nkabo mu the obi a hwe omo collective interest obi an nkabo mu asomdua ba na obi an akoma so ade afa individually bas an kran so a say we ye ba we ye na sam brahman kwan say kwa onya japade ni bia ena so omo beka ho bi ebeboa ama obi a koma to ne yem and I say obia pressure no obia nsa ka tete opa ye ma no ene woni aka ina ndi ama no afa abusua dodo no ene obi biara no ama no ho kwan se wo so nya bibi efi wa pata Lumba na estate na japade no obia ho ba be wombi ti afa obia ka ho bi ya anya asem ketanti wo ni se ono obeka ho bia na se odzam de mama no ndi ze ma no ono yo ka wo nua no nketo a eze bia baketo bi oba bi ne ade a wo se da bi Mrs. Sakra wo ti minister no bibia odzam de ma ye nkwara no ne ade nti wo ni wo se obeka ho bia abusua tenten na obi biara mama no kwan so se nya japade no ebi obi biara mama no kwan so o se fata se bibi o se bi di nsa no abebu ama omo collective interest no obe fight for afei ankran so obi interest no eno so obi gina no wakon e de ama bibi ayi boko se de esi etia no so o kan sa e de che amansan se de se na efata afei tie o say that my educational qualifications and professional background uniquely unique let's say unify on your dance okay I said that my educational qualifications and professional background uniquely position me to contribute meaningfully to the administration of the estate. And you will say, or come will be at as I said, baby, I was young the do. Baby, what could you go do? The woman young, yeah, was young the experience out of when you and all that chain. I feel the professional background. Say, why you say no church me, how I have 5 months, I have 6 months, I have 1 year, I have 2 years now, you know. Okay, can you now boom one? The professional background, no. And now, what you not simply be swa, just say. I wanna dance so say. Yeah, pobi na odemwa abebwa, pobi na ode. I mean, and what be a dimu meaningful contribution and contribute meaningfully. A father Lumba, a Japanese to your honey idea, or no, only say a you know at not down say. Oh no, you'll be a just a what's the amount of crime pa? Also, man of crime pa na obabijin no place and emmanuel bibia tete na fa bibia ayasom bi said I say na important no so yen sem no bia all come wasem the actual court said I say na efata afi what also be no say what also be no actual court say making my appointment as co-administrator not merely appropriate but necessary to ensure that the administration of the estate is carried out with the requisite level of professionalism, competence, and integrity. The one was say, or can you move beyond the DNA of Brazil? So say, court to man a crown of a co-administrator, yes, yes, or yes, I can name court to man a crown of administrator, and then court to yes, a bebois, now, Papa Lumba, a Japanese estate, no, you want to train at the end. A becosu, yeah, because you said, yeah. I mean, obia or sound at the end who's your who bet me out to the year can be able. Afe bekoso said ya. I mean, Ghana, ya mother, ya mamma, ya money city. Afe bekoso said ya beya. Bibia, one ye, bibia. I mean, say, Bizia told to a Japanese idea biano. He had the competence. Let's say, where you in the way and one yama be being touch ma, son or count. On yama be being touch ma, on yama be being tobaha. The way you be our ya, no, no, quanso, no quanso, in accordance with the laws of our land. It will be a kama, yet ye be a maho, et ye be a maho, nebi be a, and so, and tobaha said, yes, say, na if I only be a, or can waka, at the actual court, said I say, na efata. It is Prophet Babwa, na Japanese Tiano, or say, my missus will be also that my educational qualifications, the school I work with, the professional background, uniquely positioned me to contribute meaningfully to the administration of the estates. The Bible wants me to contribute towards that Lumba estate. After making my appointment as a co-administrator not merely appropriate, but necessary to ensure that the administration of the estate is carried out with the requisite level of professionalism, competence, and integrity. And I've also say that to the best of my knowledge and belief, should this court grant the applicant's application to be the only joint administrator of the estate or disease, that power conferred by the court could potentially, okay, let's say, or come be the fact, Akosua Serwaa. And what you said. And some more, you know, Bobo was in there. Or said, so court 20 and some more worker. Na, Okoma Quine say, Akosua Serwaa. Or no kwa na court amount to me say, on to Niama, or not a court amount to me say, I mean, on organizing letter of administration now. A bit hard to come in or say, hey, I have some more. Or say that to the best of my knowledge and belief, so this court grants the applicant's application to be the only joint administrators of the estate of the disease. That power conferred by the court could potentially be a recipe for protracted dispute following the events after the passing of the disease. What do I say? So court to Anshana court. I can say, Wama, a quine say, one more idea, some of the court, Akosua Serwaa, Akosua Brimpoma. On say, in your Bama, Akosua Serwaa shall in the Omai in the film. In the court, Anshana no one far or no amount account be as letters of administration or can be as an administrator, co-administrator. Now koba say we are a maami Akosua Serwaa ene maami Akosua Benpomanko. On you who say e betimi akwa ha ne amane bi aba. What I say, when is betimi akwa kofa? Also that power conferred by the court could potentially be a recipe for protracted dispute following the events after the passing of the deceased. Do I say already mercy senior ade akwa koso say court makwan. Now okase or the 2 minutes maami Akosua Serwaa ne maami Akosua Benpomanko nsa say omo na omo enye administrators and our grant of the list of administration to be administrators for estate of that Lumba. Ebetimi akofan tokwa ne mentwas tenten aba ya mentwas ne tokwa beba na ebi anye na to betwa esa say odi also hwe nsem asisi that Lumba weti until all can is area check out after it also be on say that my inclusion as a co-administrator would serve as a buffer against the discourse. Okay, that my inclusion as co-administrator will serve as a buffer against the discord existing within the family and provide assurance to all the children of the deceased that their respective interests will be adequately and equitably represented in the administration of the estate. And that's a more concern. Although one says, "Yami had not court who mobo, not court a man across all my co-administrator." Or one says, "No beboa, na aso and I say, abre mentimwasi ebi aba abusuani mu no abrano and asa abrase or who no can no so on your man can be one of the administrators for Lumba's estates, which in that case court granted also co-administrator status when Mama Akosua Serwaa and Mama Benpomanko no be another co-administrator or say who say no be boa na ntokwa ne mentimwasi bi ekoso abusuani mu bia abrase I know your barco. I see what so hard your conversation. I know your barco. After I say another chair and provide assurance to all the children of the deceased that their respective interests will be adequately and equitably represented in the administration of the estate. Therefore, another quarter chair as well as boa. Now I catch that Lumba money now say, "Woman so, woman come as one day. The obia no a big jinamu here pa. Yeah, omo be take into account. Omo de be call ebe tun say dey akwa adwendwen mu ebra wo omo toto papa na japade to omo emfa nkran interest ento nche and afi so be kan wo bia beboa na ohunu se be ma asodua ba abusuan ama mentimo ase bia wo abusuan bia ebe brass nti so aka check out and afi also catch check out say that the grant of the letters of administration must be to persons who can manage and distribute the estate of the deceased without subjecting the legacy and family of the deceased to ridicule, disrepute, and public humiliation. Do I say? That's what administration is here. The Maubia. I was here. The Maubia waiting out Ashani Manusui. Afe was here. Sadi Maubia. Obet me out to near Manusui. We are to near Ma Sabi. The power in your media, not Lumba in your mediana. Ejao. The mum enquire Bia. Or de Papa no bra boy and legacy. Are the Obayan was assist. Obejan was assist. So any Abusiano. Obedi abusuano ho fel obeya ne oma ade abusuano o kan semo asemo okay nti no anya nkoye obi a obeya na montuo ne ade bi ebe ma ase egu abusuano ho fi ase twetwe abusuano edi abusuano ho fel afei emma abusuano ase obi ntima kwa na obi mu abusuano ntia afei nkoye obi a ase na afei ama mansa obi a can be someone for public humiliation. It was there be I was here, the mobia on over say, Nina be a kama, and the obia dear as administration man, obia with me about to near Manina ye wabra, auto to near man, and Coba say, na minima dear Savia, the command Akosua Serwaa, and I remember Filla because all air applicants are also the caveat. And what I say, or circles, and equal courts, that the grant of the letters of administration must be to persons who can manage and distribute the estate of the deceased without subjecting the legacy and family of the deceased to ridicule, disrepute, and public humiliation. The minimum is no person say, I be a mamma Akosua Serwaa name, my baby one of the courts in the Bia. The court more kwanya. Na court no come more kwanya, maybe almost subject, even though more ever to the man. That's so I'm going to be subject to ridicule, disrepute, and public humiliation. I mean, this is our part of the anti. You see, it's going to be our culture court. So, after I say that should this court grant the letters of administration to the applicant alone, there exists a real risk of further unrests and discord within the family, which could result in a failure to ensure that the administration of the estate is conducted in a fair, transparent, and all persons entitled at law to a share in the estate. And when you're not someone working now, and say. That's more king and say, but should this court grant the letters of administration to the applicant alone, there exists a real risk of further unrest and discord within the family. There's a court. As the letters of administration, applicant, Mamma Akosua Serwaa, Mamma Akosua Serwaa, on you who said, a basana as a jabby sabium semcan, Sumina Sujam, a hopas not about from. Tia Yabons not so a partner as Sona a Kenya. There's a court with the letters of administration or granting Mamma Akosua Serwaa, Mamma Akosua Serwaa. On you who said, a bit me the way you biaba. Na oye na de baba no ebetimi asama mentimi wase aba abusuan mu pa na se mentimi wase ni ade aba abusuan mu a emu ama abusuan ntumpon emu ema abusuan no enkonkan se de ase na efata therefore what was no chem say which could result in a failure to ensure that the administration of the estate is conducted in a fair, transparent and equitable manner for the benefit of all beneficiaries. Nti say ekobasa akra abe second de koma applicant nko a wo mo ntote ene ade be ha dwen ama ebia hu ni se wo mo a niam kwakodi o mo saso mo to niam emwa ema wo mo ntimi to niam yi se de sene fata administration of the estate no wo mo ntimi conducting fairly wo mo ntimi conducting transparently and afei wo mo ntimi conducting abra pepepe ye beba obi akoma be to de ti no ka check ko so da bi but men fama wo also the more mo a ebetimi de ntokwa aba ebetimi de mentimi wase aba ebetimi de woye ne kakra ba na me de all the mama a be hwe se madwi obi a de ho we se madwi obi a koma so ade pepepe ye mama bibia boko ntino enti ase be ba me nua no nyina akwa beta ma chi a on beti ase ama etimi akwa akwa mama bibia boko ti court me so me de all the mama a hwe nsi but me maami ade all the man on me se we de all the mama a echina bi amanfo kra bi o a on be ebegu abusuan mu ase bi no be di abusuan no for public ridicule ne ade okay kan ne disrepute okay kan but me all the mama a me hwe se me nua no na abusuan obi a o safata bi o so nya chefa bia on there nakuma so ade bebe eh asem ho okay I feel say that I am fully committed to work hand in hand with whoever the court deems fit to be appointed as co-administrator to ensure that the legacy and heritage of the deceased is safeguarded and secured for the benefit of all persons entitled at law to a share in the estate. When I say, on what can will be able to say, well, we are that's what the internal but to say. So, court who more bono man acquires on your co-administrator. Be better on the back was administrators no. Or you know, been back over 2 and 1 boom said yes, and fata. Said yes, and fata some view council. Said the bear, ne papa, a yapade. Ne papa, adia bia uja wachi. Ne papa, boy, any dear ujato legacy also born by Nadina. Or better so no na beka bo media adi dwumadi so ko se be ya o bebo nyina ho ban na o ma hwese ento ba hanye basa na obi biara o se fata se wonyi so wonya be fida Lumba Japan no o better so obi a so akoma beto ne obi anya de na akoma pe se de sene fata wa be o ha nya manye bia emma nti no so yense no bia waka na waka e de abekire court se de ya isitie na efata e wo ho no nti no so waka bi na se abuja se no bia waka no na this year, what will be a court bar point in the beyond the carbon our county hand. But the same way, watch him grandma, not only be a while, as a quack say, oh, undermine, I mean, I won't be a sissy and I'm not couch castle, crown, you know, Manasa come on administrators. Already undermining them. Don't say it will be a trans been a man meant once a banner. Oh, where the man will better say, what castle could do on what says any idea. Maybe you could have made your point. I mean, you're a child, so you qualify, and I'll be Sakra. You could have made your point without necessarily, I mean, drawing those stars in. So, you can say, "Could be a man for a man for Busiana, and who fear dear Busiana, tell me idea." So, what I say. But what can we idea, mammy, or more, also one of my own better. Some class are some court crackers or more pine. Be a co-administrator. How do you work hand in hand? Say, what can I say? Wait no more working hand in hand, be able to. But where the crime undermine him? I was saying, they're making what you say. Already what you can undermine with one of your points I'll make here. It is a court grammar can say, okay, fine. Matthias, say, Muna, co-administrators. Also, watch them so working hand in hand. How are you going to work hand in hand? I mean, some of the utterances, not just as a one undermine or more Sh0cking intelligence. So, until it will be a utterance to be the man, and to once in your honey money. They are not see a back. After what also be more cast, I mean, or say. What also be no say. That I am therefore okay. So Medican can work hand in hand. No say that I therefore pray this honorable court for an order appointing me as a co-administrator to administer the estate of my deceased father. It was Serwaa as the court to ye papa. na sɛ ɔsɛ court nyinaa no sɛ court ma no kwan na ɔmɛyɛ co-administrator na court ma no kwan na ɔbɛyɛ co-administrator wɔtumi aboa na ne papa ewu akyi ne papa ewu akyi agyapadeɛ ne adeɛ ɔtoto no biribiara ayɛ bɔkɔɔ na biribiara ayɛ asomdwe sɛdeɛ ɛsɛ na ɛfata nti saa na ɔno nso ka no wɔ ase a wɔka de kyɛn nti ɔno ɔsɛ sɛ court ma no kwan na ɔmɛyɛ co-administrator the court appoint na sɛ co-administrator ɔbɛyɛ sɛ ɔbɛyɛ administer ne papa agyapadeɛ no sɛdeɛ esi tie ne sɛ fata in the interest of biara to where na ɔsɛ sɛ wherefore I swear this affidavit of interest ne sɛ ɔde ne nsa ti sɛ ɔno ara na ama kwan sɛ yɛntwɛn from mmra ɛna ne nsa hyɛ ase nti sworn in Accra this 18th day of May 2026 ne sɛ that's last week Monday no ɛna ɔde ne nsa hyɛ aseɛ yeah before me commissioner of vote ɛna wɔn ndebusua nsɛm a yɛn nua ba no waka ɛde akyerɛ court no ɛna ma bɔ bɔdi na aso de akyerɛ mo nti nsɛm a ti bi wakyerɛ nsɛm nyinaa mu deɛ nti a ɛwɔ sɛ court ma no kwan na ɔbɛyɛ ɛyɛ co-administrator ɛwɔ yɛ maame Akosua Serwaa anaasɛ yɛ papa da Lumba na gya party mu ɛna waka ne nyinaa ɛde akyerɛ court no na yɛbrɛ a bɛrima na nso ka aka nsɛm kaka yɛnti bɛrima na ɔno yɛ ne yɛ nɔɔso nti yɛbɛwie sisi amadaroma na mekura ma brɛ kakra yɛde abɛ wie bɛrima na ka nsɛm kakra ho nti yɛnkɔhwɛ bɛrima na yɛnti bɛrima na nso deɛ mema wo bɛrima na kora meka yɛ maame Akosua Serwaa ba bɛrima yɛfrɛ sɛ Calvin Fosu ɔno nso aka nsɛm kakra yɛnkɔ ne yɛnkɔtie bɛrima na asɛm a ɔka na yɛnhwɛ no ɔno nso deɛ na yɛnte aseɛ because we're talking about a whole lot of church and nsɛm bebree mu with respect to the NTA bi a ɔno nso hu ne sɛ ɔwɔ sɛ court ma no kwan na ɔbɛyɛ co-administrator the NTA bi ɔno nso hu ne sɛ court ma no kwan na ɔbɛyɛ co-administrator ɛbɛboa ma biribiara yɛ bɔkɔ court ma no kwan na ɔbɛyɛ co-administrator biribiara ɛnsɛe biribi ɛntɔ ba biribiara ntɔ kyema ɔde nyima bɛgu akwan mu sɛdeɛ ayɛ the fact anti Calvin deɛ yɛbɛyɛ no within some few minutes na yɛkɔ na agya brɛ pɛm nyame hu yɛ mmɔbɔ na ɔdom yɛn kwan ahoɔden a yɛsan ba ne abɛtoa so na biribiara ayɛ yie so Calvin deɛ no wɔ hemfa okay bacho me ba madaroma ma mingi Calvin there na yendi no so eho enkomo right so on your screen Calvin so there of father the court court and in nsem or church go mo a dey church court say say as usual in the Superior Court of Judicature in the High Court of Justice Kumasi AD 2026 after the death of Jesus Christ 2026 now you know what you say in the matter of the estate of Charles Koyofosu, aka Daddy Lumba, deceased, and the Nehoimbium, and Ernestina Fosu, aka Akosua Brempoma, Charlene Fosu, and in the matter of the caveat filed by Calvin Schindler of Luxemburger Strasse, there's a German forecast I know, Luxemburger Strasse 325-50939, Cologne, Germany. Ochechemi na so honom. So there is tia after your boss say na di mu nkomo a yenhwe affidavit of interest no and Ochechemi na mo ha I say that's all declaration I say as what is a bro my question is by the way senior brother is agree with her as what the mentia say as what you na me agree whether room be me na into the yenhwe nsem wo ka as what do they also want me agree no fabra na menti was na wo kan se be me na whether room I say that I am the caveator hearing and deponents here to nese ono am and as ansem we bebo so nyina wa makwan amayatwe ya ono an na de asem no ba se o person no be co-administrator mayemfa sa tumi e ma ne maame na ono ko am administrator for the estate of the music legend Charles Koyofosu that number therefore here to aso ni akin kan no say that the medical can say that the depositions contained in this affidavit are facts within my personal knowledge and or belief to what I say ensem bia wa bosu bia abusunya ensem bia wabɔ so bia won nsem ɛwɔ krata yi mu affidavit mu nsem ɔde akɔdan court ɛyɛ nsem a ɔno yenu abɛ ma Calvin Fosu onim sɛ yɛ no kurato do na ɔno aso nim I mean within the personal knowledge and in the belief afei yet also be more say that's what didn't say yɛ no kurato do sɛ ne da bia akɔ court a ɔkyɛ sɛ nsem aka bia no kura wo metwa nto nkyɛ court afei what was not say that to the extent that the matters deposed to hearing relate to law I've made them on this basis of advice from my counsel, which I verily believe to be true. It was saying someone was in ano. I am someone needing your Brazil counsel. A fat and maraho. Ya, lawyer, and many near tuniful. Now, on also ditum and a cretro do on any murder nino, a yankin. And therefore say that my counsel shall, the hearing of this matter, seek leave of this honorable court to refer to all processes on record as if the same have been incorporated hearing and so on to an oathness or better name. And I thought I was not say. that I am the first male child. The answer you know the first female child. As I say, that I am the first male child of the late Mr. Charles Kojufosu, the deceased, and together with my sister Denise, Lady Fosu, the oldest of the children of the deceased. Okay. The one was why or say or no, or your first female or your first male child. Say Denise can say or your first female child. No. And also I crack out have him say. This is the oldest of the children. But I thought say be a union and I find me there. But maybe you say be a branch in a penny. I May I thought say I don't know. All this what I thought say in a penny. But just say tell you that I am the first male child of the late Mr. Charles Kojofosu, the deceased, and together with my sister, Denise, Lady Fosu, the oldest of the children of the deceased. On your penny, make I say, when him say you are a Bema in a penny, man, I say a penny. But I had just say Denise in a penny. Anyway, it was say that Madam Akosua Serwaa Fosu, the first applicant, is my biological mother, while Madam Mensina Fosu, aka Akosua Brempoma, the second applicant, is the sister of the deceased. It was what I said, Mamma Akosua Serwaa, and Mammy, yeah, the about as far as and Mamma Akosua Brempoma. A yet Nessewa, so what I say. Yes, the one papa ni abanti and Nessewa, missing a bar, Siwa. And I've what was not I say. That's I feel what was not I say. That as the first male child of the deceased, it would be in the interest of justice for this honorable court to appoint me as a co-administrator, as my inclusion would ensure that the collective and individual interest of okay, I was wait a moment, much on whatever my wife is saying. Oh, don't worry. So na mo fit na se meto na was me ade akwa me se mo me nso kan ento aso mo dara. Right, abusia me da se mo nya me wa boto nya me hwam. Ye nto aso. Enti first of all, me na me can say but anyway me nim die, but na me nim say bia ma me Akosua Serwaa ba be man na ye pen. But in the chat wa chere say Denise na ye pen. But no your first male child. And what was not say, wa chere say ma me Akosua Serwaa ye ma me. And afei or Kadia Chim say, Mamma Akosua Brempoma, second applicant, no say Nessewa. Intino. Afi or Chima Kabibu say that as the first male child of the deceased, it will be in the interests of justice for this honorable court to appoint me as co-administrator, as my inclusion will ensure that the collective and individual interests of all the children of the disease are adequately represented in the administration of the estate. When you also was record pass a court man na court on fan and as a co-administrator. Na court as a co-administrator, every boapa oh yeah. Court man na obey co-administrator as a court man na obey co-administrator. Every boa the everyone say ojinemu a obehwe say ne nuanom nyina omododo no na obi an krankra obi a komaso ade no ewom ya obese obi gizam dia ma obi a na pepepe ya ba e dia ba ma obi a aye okay said yes na fata nti na oka dia a chair court no say obi a obehwe obi a interest efa ne papa eja pale ntoto ye say bia be boko after what was not say that my inclusion as a co-administrator is especially warranted in the peculiar circumstance of this estate where the children of the deceased were born of 4 different mothers. It was it. The entire amount of Koba who be here say never come as a co-administrator and say o share situation where you say bia maame ba ko na awo mani na do papa ba ko de but maame no maame for the ahodo online so the chimo krate maame for ahodo online and o ma wo enkwada yi na na say maame for ahodo online na wo enkwada yi na ntino o se court pass the court man kwa no be kan bia ebeboa including the first applicant, making it imperative that a person with a direct personal stake in the interest of all the children participate in the administration of the estate. What do you say? I'm a forward 1 in the womb. I won't call in. Then I say, I'm a forward 1 and I won't call in 19. So that's a court, but man, now, or no, yeah, or no, what you know, interest. I want that dream now, pay body money in 19. What man can't be a because the instance no a different because Sabu, you say, yeah, Bema Bako and Mamma Bako, but Bema Bako and Mamma. No matter what 1 I won't put in your na into a cobasi EBS in China. And I say cobase, I mean a man about creating white hard into no Calvin or Bema se bar ɔbɛhwɛ sɛ ne nuanom aka nyinaa obiara maame na sɛ obiara bi amade sa wodoɔfoɔ na wɔm nyinaa no ɔbɛhwɛ sɛ ne nuanom nyinaa interest na ɔbɛdwen ho na yɛnsisi obiara sɛdeɛ ɔno ɛreka no okay that pɛpɛpɛ yɛ aba okay aba okay I see I've heard something like that just say between who I want to say I feel also be not say that I am fully capable and willing to administer the estate of the deceased transparently in the best interest of all the children and in strict compliance with the law. It was only Okam will be at Yasia. Okam will be at Yasia. The entire Okam will be at Yasia and say, oh no, Yami had not caught man quine. Now, your man quines on my administrator or you're willing or we are tasked to pass about to near my year. Ya near my so with that about to near mamma will be a home or ben transparently. And him say, be a no be quiet, there may be a CDR. Ah, Simon, or pen your man transparently. Afei ɔyɛ nneɛma na ɔbɛdwe ne nuanom nyinaa ho interest ɔbɛdwe ne nyinaa ho na afei ɔhwɛ sɛ ɔbɛyɛ nso a ɔyɛ ɔde adidie no buo bɛma Ghana mmara sɛdeɛ Ghana mmara si nsa na ɔbɛyɛ no pɛpɛpɛpɛ yɛn nkɔfo a ɔhaw ne amane bia ne nkyɛn ahwɛ bi ama nti na ɔsɛ sɛ kɔɔto ma ne kwan na wɔnyɛ ne saa afei ɔtoa so bi mu na ɔsɛ that given the nature that given the nature and complexity of the disease business interests and assets, which encompass music, broadcasting, and commercial enterprises, the administration thereof demands a high level of professional competence and expertise commensurate with the scale and diversity of the interests involved. So I say, the name you are can also can be say, the papa Japadi how do city and the amount of upon a was as soon to know. On the who pass say. And who be here say the administration here to pay Japan and everything be okay be and who be here high level of professional competence and expertise. So the bear and your money be a betom the council the send fata. So the baby been toba na be and touch manos my uncle says about Calvin also call the same thing. Okay, I ask more. And I thought I was going to say that I am advised by counsel and verily believe same to be true that an effective and efficient administration of the estate of the deceased. I said that I am advised by counsel and verily believe same to be true that an effective and efficient administration of the estate of the deceased will not entail only the distribution of assets, but more importantly, the management of the intellectual property rights of the deceased in his music and other intangible assets. There was one day, when you will come a court to Tiasi, what can be at Tiasi? So, the panel and your my to Tony and conquer the Japadi and the Adianqua. The mom, a best answer can a yet intellectual property once a not the man Yamadema, known to ya or to any Adian. And also Becca Humbi. Yeah, better key into account, then you to a better year, and a ammonia be obey what as fast as it said by ya, or to near my ye. Next, the Bianco for how any man ye be ama, and also can be, and or the Abadan Courtois, or can I say, they are easy at and he, and also about where our can once at the extra amansign. After yet was to be no can say. I was yet was being no trace. The other one more. Papa Nanyum tour any the rights. I mean, on say Tonyum dia or label no forever. Touch your man pro. I mean, and you may be in your name. I was a way joiner or so. I said, be a better question. No cancel. I copy me say, yes, a better every year. Tining now can be. And I'll say that in the light of the foregoing, it is imperative that careful thought goes into the appointment of the administrators to ensure that all matters bordering on the administration of the estate and the preservation of companies associated with the deceased, as well as his intellectual property right in his music, are safeguarded and protected for the benefit of the beneficiaries. So when you also come will be at us. Now, come will be at us in and say, Yamen Queen or she said, Bebois. Now, be boko or Sebebois. Now, Sebi Obeka will be with respect to Papaya Japadi and to ya control be boko. Obehe say, and somehow would be yeah, it's a fata. Obviously, was no careful. I mean, careful thought, Ebecom, what's the step? Obeshe and same way on penny to an amobi, and I won't be able to be an I mean, Obet think it true. So I say, in the light of the foregoing, it is imperative that careful thought goes into the appointment of the administrators to ensure that all matters bordering on the administration of the estate and the preservation of companies associated with the disease, as well as his intellectual property rights in his music, are safeguarded and protected for the benefit of the beneficiaries. Until we say, the intellectual properties, and then how do I catch up now? But one by on pencil, we better to Nasara. Amani Omaya Basa, no, as a bar or prince as a court more. Now, Obama can be now, Bibia, any asmuji said, yeah, SFatanti or no. Also, ordinary uncle fat. intellectual property. I mean, then you to over to the rights now the obey and on the need to for say. Ni na can be tin I was stress court man kwan sa. No me can be na bibia nya boko e asem. Ti so no so aba be ka from an angle so the osu hu ma fa. Any the nti hu say court man kwan. No me ka ensem no eho ebi. Na fe auto so bi no say kan sem bia. Yenti ensem awodo a waka no bia. O de me ka obi a message we munya wote. Why? Okay, you making obi a message. So am out for hit or comment section pa. After say that my educational qualifications and professional background uniquely position me to contribute meaningfully to the administration of the estate, making my appointment as co-administrator not merely appropriate, but necessary to ensure that the administration of the estate is carried out with the requisite level of professionalism, competence, and integrity. And you know what Jim said? On who the pass the entire also be can be as a co-administrator and said, "Oh, she's so cool, no Calvin, what could do it?" Wakosu kwa chire yie pa akwadare wo niam mu yie pa ena afa nyuma awodo a waye wa control mu the professional background ya den so agina pie se wono court man kwan so obeka bi so o me administrator obeto niam an kwan so no kwa so on we se bibi nchia on we se bibi ntoba ha on we se bibi nse bia be kwa so no kwan so se dia ese ne fata na ankofa ha ne amane bia ama so ho ti no so yense no bia o kan e dia check court se dia ese ne fata ena afa wo sa to so check yense na ena wo ka se asara no kra no na point me become as a co-administrator obehwe say I mean the competence of an integrityness on for integrity ni agro so obehwe say there be CCA bi on CCA bi obodi kan ka say obegina mu bi ani nuanom interest go mai omufri awofo 9 emu na bai Mr. Kamadaroma enti ono ya ba ani nuanom kwada emu na aye mantino oni nuanom na obia interest obia akoma de to obegina mu bia obetimi akodi amani nuanom said ya esene fata ti na ono so aka e dia check court sa afi authors no say that I hold a and what chemo ni suku akodi ade and I say that I hold a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and my professional experience spans banking and financial services audit so no okra first degree our business administration okra first degree of business administration was ya de pa na when this year was here experience nyuma wodo awaye no efa sikasem to your financial services and afa bank dwumadi awodo efa auditing ne ade na so se say so ni nya ban na omo ay expert auditing mu ne ade na say the city afa banking trade and risk management at PwC executive leadership as managing director of a growth focused enterprise and entrepreneurial experience as founder and operator of an independent apparel brand, a breadth of experience that further underscores my suitability for appointment as a co-administrator of the estate. But changing them with the court, the entity was a court man quine, not by administrator because why any of my old baby, yeah, near my way, and I'll bubble in now. So I said, why you might be out in a door, pa. Why trade and risk management of PwC, afe, and also crab business administration, you know, I mean, experience no be for banking and financial service audit, a be for trade and risk management. There's a new balance, so it's not trade and after risk management. One also say risk management was it. Yeah, no, so what quarter 1 year, papa, and your mouth do account why ye at the abundant or can be a who say bois, be beyond say, be beyond toba, be beyond kama pa. Said they are say na fatanunti and what just say almost any we na man kwan say court or stress court man kwan no may another obey co-administrator another to name yi na be anye and after what was not say that by virtue of my professional career I have accumulated extensive experience in executive leadership, banking, financial oversight, risk management, and commercial operations in both institutional and entrepreneurial environments. Until what I said, oh no, because of the suku calling a decision was do a change. Wa one who ye ba, we have been in the outdoor the according to me, in the air fast, ye need dumb when ye to near my ye. And I'm a sound, Matia, as America, one, or maybe more banking into Omakakesi. Okay. Obasa Ghana, but say, I don't know, I stand to be corrected here. But I said, penny phone, no way, but I know, say, no, my down for be now, castle, all my friends. And see, I said, baby, I'm you, and I'm a teacher fool soon, that's a fool soon. Obvious, I say one another. Okay, and I think I'm gonna have some of the bank when they be complaining so, but anyway, Brennan Cabin and battery. Okay, maybe I would experience no near my bay camera. So, maybe I'm a short and maybe I'm on sanity. Maybe I'll start there, but with experience no. Way. So this is it. Okay, na yento aso na dia ke bia me be kan obi akoma de munya abotre mo comment na mra ma be kan obi ade and I thought what we not say that my background. Okay, I said that by virtue of my professional career, I've accumulated extensive experience in executive leadership, banking, financial oversight, risk management, and commercial operations in both institutional and entrepreneurial environments, equipping me with the competence, discipline, and fiduciary awareness necessary for the responsible administration of the diseased estates. Nti wɔde ɔkyerɛ sɛ ɔka ho bi ate. Nneɛma ahodoɔ a wayɛ, nnwuma ahodoɔ akɛse a wayɛ nyinaa nti no, wɔnyɛ experience wɔ nneɛma wɔ nyinaa mu nti no nso de ne gyina fapem yie sɛ nyame yɛ adom a ɔba ne yɛde ne bɛka ho asɛ kɔ administrator a ɔbɛyɛ nneɛma responsibly, ɔbɛyɛ nneɛma ne kwan so sɛ ɛbɛyɛ biribiara ntɔba. And after said that my background in managing complex financial matters, overseeing operational structures, and working within highly regulated industries requiring discretion and accountability positions me to ensure a responsible, fair, and transparent administration of the estate for the benefit of all beneficiaries. John ye waka was to be him say, "You may do away." About managing complex financial situation matters now there oversee operational structures and then you may outdoor in our industry and companies are doing them. Yeah, you know, but now sir. Say, obey our film there. Oh, yeah, unubia, church and say, I mean, oh, you're responsible, you're focused on what you're doing. It. Being in any so my pepe, you may be annoyed or continue now. Say, na ya pepe, I think he said, I couldn't be a nina experience a winner. The number one might next year say, and never kind of a page up against the co-administrator. What can you be our continue? Calvin, I can say, the never can. Just she see be answer, or beside you beam, or you can't why you be that, your beside you why in ye. Said the Senate Fata. It's not a check what's and after all, I cannot say that my inclusion as a co-administrator would serve as a buffer. That my inclusion as co-administrator would serve as a buffer against the discord existing within the family and provide assurance to all the children of the deceased that their respective interests will be adequately and equitably represented in the administration of the estate. Was one, yet never can a year estate no say omra one of the co-administrators oba only say ono edma beka na beboa na ama asumdua babusua no menti wase bia wabusua no bia ono beka beboa ama asumdua babusua no ne baako afei ono beka beboa na ama that lumba man nyina nya gidie ne ahodaso bi say oh ene obia hwe obia koma so ade bia no obia nsa beka yie mu ne pepepe yie mu so the city na bibia ayi bɔkɔ nti ne kwa bɛboa wankora no obi anya anidaso obi anya obrase obi anya abotɛ so asɛ me nua bɛka ho deɛ ne me dan no mata okofu bɔɔlo bɔ ha nti we deɛ saa akɔyɛ sɛ ɔyɛ nua nti na ne nua no bebree wɔatwi nti no sɛ yɛde ne bɛka better administration ho a abɛyɛ sɛ okofu bɔɔlo bɔ ne nua no wɔ mu deɛ ɔmo nyinaa bɛhwɛ na ɔmo pɛpɛpɛpɛ yɛ de ama no na bibia ayi bɔkɔ na bibia ayi asomdua busua sɛ deɛ ayɛ sɛ na ɛfata nti ɛno nso ne nsɛm wɔyɛ nua bɛma Calvin ɔka ne saa ɛna afei that the grant of the letters of administration must be to persons who can continue. That the grant of the letters of administration must be to persons who can manage and distribute the estate of the deceased without subjecting the legacy of the deceased and his family to further ridicule, disrepute, and public humiliation. So the new Alban account is what can be say. Or can say letter of administration there the ma. Or say the mo be a obet me akora. Na wa share a Japanese fee. Na fe wa share a Japanese ye. Oh, be a ocheno. Enkofa ɔhaw ne amane bia ma ɔkyɛ no enkofa akonya bi ma wo obi kura emu that Lumba legacy animtia emu obi kura enkasa ntia abusua ema amanfo ni abusua no fɛw afei enkofa mentim wase ma na mfa sɛ amansan na kura de abusua asɛm bɛ atwa pia ne asere wɔ mo I mean ye di wɔn fɛw ti na ɔno yɛ ɔhu ne sɛ court ɛmfa ne mɛka no minimum adeɛ sa no hu ne sɛ bi de ebi ekodi obi nsɛm a saa na bɛba I don't know because ni yawa ne ka the same thing. And also the same thing. Now, James said that I therefore pray this honorable court for an order appointing me as co-administrator to administer the estate of my deceased father. The only was a court pass a court man crime. Now, court into many DNA brass air so bomb pie papa. Then pie all bono or body as a court. Say a court to whom mobile. After young court whom mobile court man crime. Now, appointing one into or no, a man crime so my co-administrator. not to papa japade say the beya bibia beya boko that's only who say ye beya appointing as a co-administrator ono mom be mo abebo ama asodua abebo ama mentimo wase bia ewa abusua no bia na ekoso abusua no ebe ye fro na out of nowhere asodua be free straba na bibia ye boko afro sa be ka ho bia mu a obere say ni nuanum nyina akoma so ade ni nuanum nyina hwehwe no onyi film obepe ni nuanum nyina so asodua obepe ni nuanum nyina akoma so ade ni nuanum nyina ahia bia obegizamo na wako de ama o ma hwehwe se bibia be ye boko afenya no nko a suku a wako eni sua hu na wanya eni adesua wodo a wasua baabi a wasua dunti no ono de esi Nyankopɔn twedi ampoye na dom na ɔma ne kwan sɛ ɔmra ma yɛ co-administrator eni ene sɛ bibia da na kwan mu ɔbɛyɛ ne ɔma yie papa ya bibia ntɔba ɔbɛyɛ ne ɔma yie ya bibia nsi na nkofa ha ne ama ne bia ma nti we na sɛ wherefore I swear to this affidavit of interest and ɔkyerɛ sɛ that's 18th of day of May 2026 na sɛ nano Monday atwam week last week Monday and also so affidavit na sisi a ayan so work jabusua ahun sem kaka na se na oba Ghana no so ka ho bi no bitu ho na mawanti sabre se na oba yan oba so affidavit no that's the reporter sabre am no kasa jabusua e free the Kumasi High Court eba enya asem ketu akra nkomo no wa na yeah in our next episode just here be in our next episode no as a break akra ba ho nti in our next episode ye ba be din na nkomo na bibia reboko so on the city and jabusua ha adwen but say there the about to go say Jimmy Yama Akosua Serwaa a bam and then Nini bad Denise and I'm not was certain kind of officially Omuni had a crocodile court so there be court more may co-administrators court more quine no may co-administrators and on my church in them say only the intia I was on co-administrators and say omo beka ho bia ebeboa omo beka ho bia obintimi anya ade bia ebe ha adwen so what you say omo beka ho bia obintimi mfa mra nhye nsem obintimi entu na mo bia I mean eba be ha adwen kra na amani oma aye bibia ho eba be ha adwen kra na amani oma akọ ha adwen se de ese ne fata so nti ni na ye nsem wo mo ka se omo sepa na bibia anya asumje. But I know about there is an intestate succession law, but that's what they are just can that's being this law 111 talking about animal and na about could be saying I to my court but say now washing na free BPI but then after say yes sister Odobroni caveata where's the choir no court anyantum and I will be PS it say so or how I father say almost person by co-administrators na BPI and so I assume na BPI aye boko said ya esi atenti yemompae na abuja fa comment brother making come says ya some wa aba bia bedwi wa dwen ya o se ho aso de o so ne nkora na ya adwen o so ne nkora na ya adwen yes o so ne nkora no ya adwen o so a wo hwem de na o so ka ya fa oni o mo ya adwen ana se oni o mo nya adwen but I mean I say more. Some people watch say, because are they minimum there? Could it be say be about my Akosua Serwaa father for LA no? Say they are not about the Sh0cking deal. And not neba abranti no we ni mo na. Na we ni mo I don't know, I'm just asking genuine questions. Yeah, you need come. The abranti no we ni mo na. Could it be say be mama Akosua Serwaa kan kire no na? Okay. Could it be say be mama na kan kire no na? E dia mama be ka kire because ni nya ba coordination ni nya ba na yawe. Nti mama ko kan ni nya ba be ka kire. Nti mama so ka kire no yawe ana bia. Na mama ka kire no yawe a otiase ana se wantiase. So otiase e na mama fa le ya. E ban say na afi dey preoccupied out of nowhere. On so di kevi advice of so be co-administrator. E no ye back. Afi or say e ka ya che court to say I mean say na mama so an kan kire no a say the neku an ka ba be hu say in the city. I mean couldn't there have been any other way to address this because some say what's up according to information na be na question say mommy obi adeɛ kora woyɛ ɔba ɔnso amanfoɔ taa ka asɛm sɛ o adeɛ kora woyɛ kora ɔba no kora nta ɔma kora nta which ɔnso asɛ biribi saa amanfoɔ menim sɛ amote saa asɛm na nti I don't know I think say in a way it's an almost subject your mom no at the to public ridicule which shouldn't be the case but anyway a Brennan Krabia and a betcher yes a Brennan Krabia and a betcher and I think say all these brouhaha near the now a bekwa could be a brand uncle portrait young pon by Adam. Na ebi ase mama Akosua Serwaa appeal na no kaso be na onya na I think say yeah because we are here today I want to be because of says yeah court just there be that Lumba a year two that Lumba our two surviving spouses it just said a since Kumasi High Court aka na yenya a court of higher jurisdiction than the High Court which is the appeals court Emma one and disprove a year asemwa High Court can into no I want to be an idea be a Akosua. We are binded by the ruling of the High Court. Tina do be as a yana can na kwa be or can na kwa hadri. So enti sanity abusia. Eja yede munchemu na ebesuma man. So we just have to pray. Nya ke beto aso na for yewram PNDC law nya de na. But there another appointment be kakra. Okay, be answer na mahwe me phone say nipa na frɛ me planti. Wo de yema kwan ho. Na yɛmfa mpema na bɛpɛ Sampa na abɛdi nkɔmmɔ sɛdeɛ sɛ na ɛfata but ɛha adwen paa nti menhwɛ mo comment no bi aba amanfoɔ kɔntɔkɔ comment section obusua I would say wode mesrɛ mo awae mɔdɔrɔma I would say sɛ obiaa nkyerɛ no adwen wode ɛnyɛ abufuo so you can obi kyerɛ adwen no adwen a wobɛtumi adresse respectfully but mesrɛ mo awae sɛ amanfoɔ a ɛkyerɛ mo adwen wɔ hɔ paa okay. All right. So let's look at some of the comments in the Ben Afe, Yen Fashulina, and so Emery said they are na efata. Okay. But anyway, they are caught better than Semusu. No, actually, Seminum, I don't see no more. But Nina Echo could be a da caught better than some done some musical. And I had the better for Biaba. Now, yet the Asuma man sign to the American comments in the Biaba. Na yɛmfa ho asɛm nsom amansan menim sɛ okay so if the instructions on how to share properties based on letter from what Jamala is then then why are the children filing for LA I know say asɛm for so bro because we all know say on some back come check category by somewhere October where you check category was that number kwati aso kyerɛ mo kwan a ɔmo mfa so nkyɛn agya pade so yɛnya media. But since you have able to do there, I say even from Accra High Court, they are better to do. Means that somewhere in there from the probate and administration division. So there is no will at their probate administrative division. You deposit your Accra High Court in the name of Charles Koyofusu. And as we will crowns will as a will or your will, they be our fan court. Now, will now in Nippon here, you know, a wall chain, and as a will in Nippon here or the Jawa courts and ranches and Nippon here, media. Now what you mean them? I was all this hour in a corner course. Oh, and if I call in your media where you will, but we're not here. Oh, jai the man, never made me ho. But and that's why in your media until within that 14 days no. Call to media, but any munje, not the person will be a my, not BBI boko, not BBI as me. That is the movement, and that is the penna. I said the honesty. So we create your media now and your will. And that's why you will also the postil court. If you don't want the postil court, now what? I mean, or no the ma one that's what the Jawa. We are within 14 days. Fako court, one found call it Yamra. So what I say. So I agree with you, say, I mean, as it stands now there, we cannot assume that I mean there's no will. So now we are to be yes. There's no will. So now we are to be there was no iota of truth in it. There's no will. So what I say. And then also the Kakaramo. I have some more on my Ghana, just say, and send me say baby. Okay. Until finally, young share nothing. Yen yaman for comments ni biaba. Na yen fashion na. Yen fashion na maybe na dia kebi anto aso live on YouTube by Grace TV. So obviously, yen share more comments ni biaba. Yen you feel sisi mirror. Na yen yi emfri honom. Na why not comment about? I'm not for them comment about. Wow. Okay. Yen you been free na yen funny na. Emra every year. Okay. So Mr. Me can't question for but more much the kind of messages bar earlier now. On say na messages all the bar earlier na edi emre bia I'm say a does be free. Ti ma mo di man kan odi afache me. Yeah, Sampa bra meton was ya ken kan ma wate. E bia na a free one tia. Now just means how can Mami say one Mami bring commercial property without court because there's no will. Okay, exactly, because there's no will. Exactly. Exactly. Man, also this is case closed, bro. She has already gone. Fala. Hey, I swear this now you see, bro. Hey, I assume a dupe man. So okay, and I just want to say, Abusia Bem. I say, Bobby says she doesn't care about anyone's trust, but who doesn't deserve by fighting in vain must be told the truth. Abandoning a man to move on with his life has no pay. You get nothing for your actions. Hey, Bambi. What can I say more? Bobby, but say, okay, fine, Mate. But yeah, that's not what you're child, yeah, Bobby, me that say. And then, what you're yeah, what the Abba said, yeah, it's a Bobby Pacho, where there, or Darama. Okay, I think one be in the comment about Nayan fan also, and so am I saying, Nabibia and your boko. Afe, who again? Community does wow, but we'll do our best. Afe, I'm just finishing Abusian Bemo. Afe, the South African say, what does the PND's law 111 says? Come now, please, can you read it? Okay, Afe, just finishing, I'm annoying. Okay, that's okay. Just want to get annoyed. I would say, where is your father's body? I ask more. Afe, just finishing, Madam Educator, where is your father's body? And Afe, just finishing, yes. So what about the PND's? Okay, PND's law. I'm not really interested in that, but I'm actually able to one of my mother. Let me be I assume. Na bibia ayeboko said ya ese na efata after when BM Bobby said you need a dead body for MPC. Hey Bobby, okay Bobby, but say I mean okay fine, that was the but that's no comment out there about after now say good morning after Kofi say don't the court in Ghana have better things to do. Hey over Kofi ash down what are ma I was quite Ghana I don't want to be hey over Kofi how about after when BM Kofi say good afternoon friends, good afternoon over Kofi after now say Bobby you very I would say Bobby Mr. I would say I would say what are ma after just finish oh said yeah one ne papa ebusuya kabum yeah you know. Okay. See how just what I would say. Could you say some important intelligent news today from Ghana? And if you just finish say, just I would say, well, as well, but my question is, by the way, his senior brother is agree with her. Also, not there. Oh, the actually say Calvin is on file. That's a Calvin. So Denise yeah, and just what you're there, no correct. So then they agree. I just want to say I'm not agree with you. Okay, I just want to say thank you, bro. Afe, just the South African so now Calvin is not for so again, right? Obi mu n'ani so na aduru no ente n'ani so ɛyɛ asɛm ho maame 24 Asantehene camp say okay maame come maame say how can maame I would say why the legal still alive ɛyɛ asɛm ho just odwin wa wɔn ti ase and I mean say all these interstate succession law now they need now come into play. Now, Boama court has making informed decision plan to the Indian water. There is a Sembisi Akro. After having an armor say, so if Lumba was the only surviving spouse, would the properties be shared? I say more. About South African time, I say, then some bring Akosua up to now, you could do on say, Yamea Domine be appeal Koso, Nekobasi be appeal, called the Ama, Mamma Kosia was the origin one. And some be bro, Ebema Nabaya cost 90, right? But anyway, Nina agent I called Bejatum. Na wa mama Akosua Serwaa to me so asem wa kan akwa na wo ya adwen nti say ana say so until we just have to cross fingers na you rest the basi akọ because this year the yempo we are binded by the ruling of the high court so what you say nti no so de kakra no afi when biem mama just fin so say ask again mama okay evidence so if Lumba was the only surviving spouse would the properties be shared? That's what Chairman Akosua Serwaa. As I say, I don't think he read that letter before he signed it. He bore me rough. Just when say he's the firstborn. Or turn a pain in okay, when I'm so I know say on a penny, but the curtain watch say Nina ban a penny. I say more. Okay. After when we say I learned Calvin did not write the letter, but lawyer was the one who wrote everything and asked him to accept it. People have just found out the signature was not Calvin's signature. I say more. I say after just listening, now the children are going to share property for their parents. Wow. After Abba Crankson said the signature of Calvin is fake according to his friend. Wow. Just saying now why not you know a frame? I had dream. Abba Crankson said that I would say Abba. Bobby say number is more important and mature than a fake legal. Hey, Bobby, I would say Mr. I would say how far am I catch it. Maybe I will call you say I'm very sure Calvin's decision is strategic. That guy knows what he's doing. If he doesn't join and other children do, it will be just his mother fighting them. Oh, okay. Okay, Matthew, I think say I'm finding man so raise point, but Richard Asari said what Kevin and Denise are doing is the best solution to Lumba's estate. Akosua Serwaa and Brepoma are elite age. As I Richard, I would say, and if the grant the letters of registration, they are going to okay, Mate. I'm sorry, I would say, as I say more, Mate. Okay, nti no nso ne asɛm a asɔre nso ɛka yɛde mu nkyerɛmu abɛsom amansan sɛdeɛ ɛsi ɛteɛ na afei yɛntoa so na yɛnhwɛ deɛ aka yi mekan de wɔn fa asɔre deɛ no comment no adɔso nti hɔ a na ɛkɔ bade meda mo ase paa comment no yɛ kama m'ani agye ho paa ma comment good now yɛnhwɛ na yɛnyi amanfo comment bi mfiri hɔ na in about 10 minutes, you wrap up the show. You enter into other stuff, sir. What you need to also kutuma na monsa ya. The mechanic which is sorry, the end. Sorry, the energy. I feel when be in the comment by. I'll find my so echo with a cherry chat. Of the Akosua and Tibias and so can be Barbie say. Okay, Barbie will be all can be different the answer to alternative. Hey, Barbie, I'll be man's on the Richard. Abba Kanks say she has no respect for Akosua Serwaa, who brought her up as one of her own. So is this girl going to I think shows she has ever maintained one job for 2 or 4 years. Never. Okay, just to say those illiterate are the ones who built Lumba himself and that estate. And if they just to say yes, so they should not try. Okay, Barbie say why didn't they build themselves out but choose to build somebody to just to help somebody to build himself? Okay, I say more. Just to say who trained him in this Germany school? Social people. I say more. Just fin. After just fin. Mommy said what took care of you when your father was. Just be out there. Just be there out there. Because just when who intend to cook kaya, kabanya money after a yupa other Roma. Hey, Josephine. Okay, if now I say America, those who works in banking don't get paid much. Okay, and after Barbie say once Teresa who sent Lumba to Germany didn't get nothing. Akosua Serwaa who Barbie Mr. Wada Roma. Okay. After back comment to them man Robert muma enye you kaka Mr. Mo why Wada Roma. After back and so can be that charity. Just been say less mistakes social people will take you away, but it didn't happen because of your mother. Okay. And after you say Abuchibia say o mami and papa o muja ho a o be fa ko. I know not just feel can answer me because Mate answer me pa say o be fa wa o mo be hwe oni ade. Okay. Mate ase pa. After one BM. Okay. I just feel so share. I say exactly. And after now I say Barbie and your Priscilla too don't deserve nothing. I say more. So I'm also they are just like they are. Hey, I would. Hey, I was here. What's the easy? I mean, some more, Mr. Mo, Madoroma, Mr. Mopa, Mohum Mobawati, Mohum. That be a any account, Mohum. That be a any assumption. After when being, I just want to say who grabbed the result from Lumba. Okay, I ask him. Barbie say you guys must polish your English and stop polluting us like Akosua Serwaa Bepoma, like their followers. Barbie na one our catch us with their chain. What am I? After just want to say, hey, Barbie, as my who can I make Mr. Mama, yen seven and one take a camera, Madarama. Okay. After somewhere also can we hey, after just say why is God not sharing but children? Okay, yeah, just finish. Say okay, just times. After just say I'm back home. A ben to accept being this law. Okay, after this officer, Denise is doing this for. Okay, about in Europe, a child born outside wedlock has no right to any estate apart from those born in the wedlock. Okay, and after somewhere also, if there are instructions on how to share properties based on letter from Baba Jamal lawyers, then why are the children filing for LA? Please answer me. And somewhere, I don't know how be someone because in night say, I'm just say Lumba extra more kwanya mo faso and control near Lumba trauma kwanya mo faso and to a japade near estate in Bibia. But this year I bet told you so I mean, every told just say from Accra High Court, PBS saying, I think say, Nina can be, and I might have to be na Edim now come on, some said there is here. After Joby is in the comment about, after Abba is in the comment about, Abba is so that small girl, never tired of what she's doing to such an elderly woman. Hey, has she any other people in her family? I asked someone. After just finished to say, Okay. Okay, that's what Chess say. Okay, my teacher's fin. Ababa can say, why is the court not questioning Baba Jama about what you are saying? Okay. Okay, I say more. Joby, as what Chess say, Kwabena, how are you? Kwabena, I'm fine, pa. Just finish so Baba Jama don't have the will, but they were saying they say, well, okay. Because I know, say, Accra High Court, I was at Chessam Wagen, only better you say. Almost checks in now, from almost probate and administration division. No. There isn't any will deposited over there. And the man's gonna say, so we in Yamediana, someone say within 2 weeks. I was all deposited with courts. So what I say, but courts now they tell me so. And someone say be say anymore. And someone say be in the disposal as at that time or then send to you. And that was about or the sarcasm about until January as a February. What they say January crana and now they're from up to December crana. Say about 5 months after the death of Papa. So what I say. And te hard pa. Afei, when be afei, Joby said that Akosua Serwaa boy, the least said about him, the better. And afei, Evans Love, do you think a DNA test will take place for all the children? I mean, I think it's a, let's see. Cynthia, Niama, say good afternoon, K. Cynthia, be able to just when say, and then be hit just when you ask Kitwa, Niametimo, and see, I mean, and some of the things say it's far from over. It's far from over. Or share in some way with free move back now we can we now and be interested. Or says yes, as we are almost all Friday, say on person make quite street see. God often a quarter better as no a TD of account. And see, no way back. And let's also not forget, say, but go along and so issue no crowns with Dan Chenyo. On say no crimes is here, amount for career if we say, I sing be sour. But go along something that's so. Even though we are means for the but that issue is also pending up to now. I had the Brea Sefatano. Say, for I mean, Yami had 9 for Abujoswa. On best answer our friends answer answer. It is also another pending issue. And so an injunction by an Akufusu against Mamia Akosua Serwaa 1 year council. And also the other Sudan. I won't say that same city. And no Bibia Chese and some of the M's a 2 year try. Because I say a couple months before I say a bomb. Afi. Oh, Joby, come again. Oh, my woman. Oh, Joby. Oh, the said Joby a while him say, Minya Bibisa. Joby. There we mama, what are Minyasa. There be. Oh, Joby, any be a Afman Suntia. Mr. Oh, the comment be out by a mankind for Brana Miss Ankaima. Why Joby? Mr. Fabra. I meant to me boss Namin Kaima. Maybe be anya boko. Why Joby? What are can you just bring your comment namin to me boss Namin Kan? Nabi be and your assumption said yes, nefata. And that is what it is. Yeah, then I want you besum amansan. Did not make sense. Some be bliowa. Ya me ya domina say Mamia Akosua Serwaa appeal it me koso na kuria. E be so in same bebre because and I'm say court no ka say. Ya ma many years sister na surviving spouses ntino. Bibia na akoye eyi kakra. So said yeah because of the law. Say Obibia obi kra we amanfo si omo ntia se say Mamia Akosua Serwaa di kan kra dia some court. Na ntia se wo. Well ebia so the obeto ya say woni say I say never be cause we hard. And yes, I am the back of na court at distinct to me. I mean my position at the free the akin now. So the baby be boko. So what I say? And it was just right and fair. So yes, even though court one year and two sir, yeah, na medical can say we understand say they appeal near the Bekoso. And in our Bebuana, I'm an be into a be abba, so the Senefata. So until we just have to anticipate and see how things are going to go. So and that is it. Comment for Sampa. You'll be into Mr. Comment out by a man. Maybe any any first. Why Mr. Joby? Not say you'll be the winning there was a mail or to me me person me casa question, but him say me sir. So what are more? Me cry. Ebi any first. So ebi any first. But and so be happy. Na me say me busa question be say are they Abraham Mamia Akosua Serwaa ko fare LA. The Bible man no woni man. I mean these are genuine questions are always bisa. Abraham Mamia Akosua Serwaa ko fare na the Bible man woni man. Entimi maso woni. E dey na obeni na obey awe. Say na o ya awe nso a. E ban say e dey ya awe na Mamia ko fare. or the new bar, so I said, I knew about a credit count. Instantly new bar, any other count, not Beman. I mean, Beman in him. Obey Eddie and in your back or in your medical. Oh, my crass so crazy. It's an all your way. And all your way. No support and I said no support. Say no support here. A bansana. Preoccupy with also the caveat court say, and also person obey co administrator. Now I can't come and I say, one way, dear, I can't come one day. And I said, one more, a pure court saying from home. I want to be cautious yet to near my. I mean, I said, into your book a car. The bansana said, no, your way. And no support it. No touch you say, oh, my man could pray for Sardiana. A bansana out of nowhere. I mean, about some months' time. And also, I compared this, right at the free court. One of the questions I was in Bisa. I was saying, make a matter say no support there. How come say? I mean, after some time, I drain as a answer, and I didn't want to buy and drain as a. I mean, if they make a was young, one may adrian. Then, yeah, medium who is an over count or by our way. So what I say, Moon say, only say obey our way, obey our way. Until your banner say, now, my baby, you see. So, and see, oh, Joby, I was young, Mr. Munka with Joby, my watty. Joby, only say me, yes, sir. What the man coach me who I'm marking Kayama. Why? Tiano so de Cano. I will just finish sorry, Joby, and a divine charity say, I have some more divine arbitrary. You have this high cop now. Hello, yeah, Mama, let's see one catch it. Yeah, Mama. Who comment actually be able call here? I feel Joby BM say, I will not. Okay, you saw it and decided to jump. Oh, Joby, Menyasa. Would it be a mark of same who I make why? I feel divine charity say, Charlene is a lost name. That is why Mr. Akosua Serwaa chose her to represent the children of the LA and my member promote to represent the family. Wow, that was perfect. Yabdi say, if I were Akosua Serwaa, I would disown him. It means Calvin was the one who polluted Charlene to remove her name from the LA. I say more. Just a hard dream. I'm question who you be messing down. Yes, I did name say you'll be also one Casacribi. You would may check it. Okay. Also, name it say comments be your eba meti on some be American say me ko free screen so and no say yes on the screen so am pen sa but be share free phone ya me dey ready comment ya on say bi o ho we can send na acha message be ba na bi no mo free your screen so ya na view ase enti mekwa o ya okwa o hwe ro pa fa phone na kwa ku titi o so comment be o ho man for e comment but the call any ono you be what you say enti anya bo ampa say oh there be menyesa at day na Joby say they was here time e chia besini na me nya bia mama sia number ball ko no na wadaro no blue okay me say obi adaro okay Joby say oh Joby okay after my comment but Joby comment dey say na shikaka o it's not can be the cheba we Joby fa cheme after me hu you are more disgusting Joby okay that part be for was say you will not come in no but also want to ask how dare you now catch a baby say how dare honestly all this respect my Akosua Serwaa been promised followers I know and you be Mr. was the first person name you free because some nonsense only be an kaka but don't catch any about baby say how dare honestly all this respect my Akosua Serwaa and my Akosua been promised you be wadaroma why into them Mr. Facha me why me pacho after you be akoma to you comment na muzo all your okay answer na Mr. You be pacho mami wadaroma comment na muzo akoma to you masana the show na baby wadaroma yes after 1 BM okay nti yabdi mama yabdi kwado o say mami Akosua Serwaa this only na babe man asemo yeah, the mama yabdi dey say mama Akosua Serwaa this one in the pan. Mama, just say I say more. You won't buy bibia be nyabeti ase. Afi 1 BM in the comment aba. Just finish exactly Joby. Okay, exactly okay, that's mama yabdi neka. I will disown him right away. Okay, I say just to say one uncle but disown no. Say never. Just see I say but if you one am say sebio o baja na go na so ya pepa ni twam ton kone. And he said, Ivan's laugh would say, I can't believe until I confirm that it's actually Calvin's signature on the LA. Then I will know it's his ideas and know what he's doing. I asked him, Joby still also won't comment. Joby, Mama, my mean to me end this way. Mr. Mompa Joby at your man, why, Mr. With him, the Yamini Sham. Mompa Joby at your man, Mr. with you. My back can't crowd. Oh, Joby, I'm sorry. Say bet to me, dear Joby Facho. Joby Facho, my mama town for Yamio, Joby Facho. Macaman was him, Yina. Dear Chair Joby. Joby see on type of beam. Ah. Come now, so me quay ye. Joby, one don't mean to me, Queen, Joby, ho, mammy. Ti Miss Joby say bet to me, dear. Say bet to me, dear. Say bet to me, dear Joby Facho. Then call me, mammy, Joby Facho. Ti mammy, Mr. Joby, we are Facho, why? Mr. Okay. Joby Facho me, be and ye calf, and ye come, mama. So, Mama Joby to be commented, I mean, this should most of my ye or the bonny at me. Oh, mama, yeah. Yes, more. Oh, we did be my other ma. I was empty. That is it. Song. The Ababu Toja. And yeah, the Asom. Yes, Yami say. On one be behind your book. Yes, Yami say. On one more that be behind ye. But I think it's something be a while. A man hard drink a crack. Especially to the point square say. I mean, I have some more. I have some more. I have some pa. Especially say. I mean, also, Tina, I want some now. Oh, only your moon say could be a beer, and then be a bassa, it could be a beer. Mentimo was any idea could be a beer. It became a month for being a quaya cassette, which you never was any Tiani at the intino. Or Mumma court, and moi, now a member dear Monche. How can we not cast a number of canny hand? If only can go under mine and dada. Oh, and see, we could have made our point. Well, I mean, they could have made their point very well. Yeah, a point I'm with me making now. With me making. Our baby, you don't necessarily kind of look down or undermine. I mean, the intellect and obi adia obi to me. Oh, I know the a pa. It was so they always make you point. So they are over to see an episode, but and you can say kobasa. Oh, I was a Joby still now my oh. Joby on my abasa. Joby. Oh, Joby. Joby the comment keke na men katine. Joby. What the katina men comment na men katisho na men kwati. O comment ya de ya men katisho. You see ya men katisho na men ko. Na BPI buko. So, and I know say obviously I'm on fan madam. I know say I heard they are saying Josephine na I can. P and this law, they are maybe it will come to play. Nti, ana make say court no be hwe niema odo ahia nyina be hwe niema odo akina ansana e be obetu na mo bia wotu. Nti, I mean, abotre na wosi nya. Ni yeso nya me say ono a enye entata. Na won fa yen kodu be bia am say court wo say odin sem na chi kokodu. But I'm very optimistic say at the long run no. Bia court and mo bia court betu bia no. E be with full respect to the laws of our land. E be with full respect to yen nyoma yen customs and traditions in the BPR. So nti interesting times ahead. Interesting times ahead. Yeah, interesting times. Joby say comment below is Joby be comment ma na comment to me. Why? Mr. Wa na what they see bia. We all agree to disagree. Even the nipa back. So what I say. After one beam. One beam. Mas love truth say Joby. Yeah, I'm for patch of mommy. Yeah. I'm for patch of mommy. Papa. I'm for patch of mommy. Papa. Yes. Just was not this one. Oh, just been there with ma. Just been say Joby, please. Just be patch of mommy. Just say any day Joby the baby. And I say, madam musician by force. If I love truth Joby, let's go, bro. Joby, I'm sorry, my preoccupy. Yes. And I just say, court will not accept them. Only PND's law 111. Okay. A Brennan Crabby and a betray. Just fin whatever want to be come on. After one be and then comment about just fin say after just fin being was just fin a comment section was I'm not you to need by force. Say bet to me dear Joby Facho. Mama Facho, me mama tamfu nyame o mama Facho. Ti say bet to me dear Joby Facho. Makama no one say nina dear chere Joby. Joby si ni amenko. Na so meko enye ye. Me ma me Joby ho donti. Mintimi nko nya mama ho. Enti mi sra date samfo. Josephine, Evans laugh to the Joby. Mama me pacho, mami, Joby facho. Joby facho, me mama tamfu nyamio, oh, Joby facho. The me sure say Joby dia che. Debi, still na Joby. Oh, Joby. Oh, Joby, me pacho. So, oh, comment ya make at show. That was ya. Say we ye ko. Joby nya comment ya make at show. Joby comment ya make at show ni ko. Joby akate. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, ko. Joby a comment. Joby a comment. Joby a comment. Was ya wie. Joby a comment. Makoma tomo. Yes. Joby a comment. Yeah, mama, wada we bru. Yeah, mama, we bo mo asema wate. Mama Joby, me tusa na sorry. It Joby di ache. Joby di ache. Bibia e kama. Yes. Enti Joby say, okay, I'm starting few comments now. Evans last to the end, Madi can kind, and I'm a kind Josephine so there no. After Josephine VM say, okay, yeah, all the PN is low 111. Okay, and I just find the buy after the South African tank cast stressor. Josephine say, Kwabena for more presume. Just will be in there. I say, oh, I contact the Kwabena home. Whatever, okay, yeah, Kwabena, yeah, na I have you. Yeah, and also for some pay and once. Also for ding. Also for we also need be our pass or yeah. Also we also need be our and this was kwanda. Debi. Also need be obi odi also be a ya usu kwabena usu kwaku usu kofi usu just say kwasi usu an kwan usu obi a kwame usu ansa on. Also for be no a or ya trouble. Also for ina mpam asem. Say akwasi say I kwame usu akwasi usu kwadwo usu kwabena usu kwaku usu ya usu kofi usu just obi a mpana wasa. Also for the thing. So yes. And I of a confuse Ghanaians, okay, and I just say, oh, when it come kafa, just finish some kuto over any day. After this African attack, I say, Mama Joby, please forgive Kwabi. Why? Boy, is a bro. That was what patch on. Then the observer what Kabia mama. After Kofi so say, Ghanaian woman, please take your school education seriously. Of an everything was a hey, over Kofi no. After a four born son with your four baby about here. After divine charities will be accept his apology and let's go. Yes. Divine charities will patch on. Divine that's what it. Yeah, I'm sure. Just feel so. I'm a thumbs up. Na emojis kama. Joby is coming. I don't have any issue with you. I'm in a teams meeting now. Haha. Oh, mama. I remember my kwame kasa because mama kasa dia bibia to echa. Bibia ask me. Yes. And I just say I thought so. She was busy. Okay. As I say thank you, mama. Joby. I say, hey, what boy? Just say. My last born is coming out. Oh, okay. Joby says I'm a Tuesday born. Mama Joe. Okay. Mama Joe, yeah, mama, me too so na so. Mama pacho na, I na we free for. UK and I'm a boy. I think Mama Joe is UK and Germany. Me ref mama, I no me hu wada ma o me. Nti na me ti baby, ma bo mu asia ma. Mama ya no me hu baby, I we free. Why wada ma? Yeah. Mama says a Tuesday born. Because also for the empire once more. Also for the I just mean say okay, I say because asema make me carry and who say the asema ba pe ampa the asema ba me. The venture is really accept that the Lumba's confused. Me can say me bo usu for them is with you. The me carry am kai see am here akwa fast ba. Ampa the asema ba you. We dey say am na kofa ba. Me say am ma. The venture is also they be that accept that the Lumba's confused. And I just feel say it's true also for but not to back. Why? I say, well, I know. I someone make kind of fast, but yeah, we're gonna for I'm sorry. And there's obviously I know one of who is stubborn. Hey, Jana so then Papa. There's obviously one who be on so test out. And I've just been say, oh wow. And I say, okay, yeah. And I say, Joby so say Maryland. Okay, Mama, USA, right? Maryland. Wow, that's nice. Okay. And Mama say, I am not here from Maryland, United States of America. I want to say free. After just finish what say or comment section was anya some to Asantehene pon ni ba. Just finish for pa me say mabusua me hwehwe adwoa bi. I'm just say adwoa bi. Or type comment to your comment section you say for but I think therefore about 2 weeks now. Meaning adwoa bi bibia you okay there. I think say adwoa bi was Germany. Oh, one when you say bibia you okay. Because na first no. Or one will fear so be on one dream be see as will be commenting at it. Na me bo na you to be din. But lucky na you to be there you go program when she be comment na say okay bibia you okay. And I was na me bo Kusi Daniel. Na Kusi Daniel no started by Grace you for. Iba wa kwa na hwe me pa. Na oba asem akoko na obeka obo se masa enti wo ka say na wo wia akọ fried rice di okwa okoto mo di okwa masa otu o trend enti wo me ne wa usi uniema ye na wa na o de awara ye na tete wo comment section but the best performance na me intend me hu the comment ti na me no se me see me team no Sunday na Saturday exactly Monday me program about content so wa akusi we nyame na akotwa wa because na me bisa na se pass na me nua yi enti adwo bi me hu the comment a chepa abusia yeah mo hwe adwo bi manwate na Asmo TV is not I share papa on there or UK also me hu the comment a chepa bibia ye boko wo side there sabi ye buy the jumadi na besoma man san there but ya baye pusua ne sa enti abibia yi na ye hwe se obia baye okay na bibia I asked me said yeah I say na fata yes yes abusia enti yemfa mpembe na yemfa nkwe yemfa mpemba na yemfa nkọ na genya nkopon ya adoma ebrepem se medika kan yebesa ba na bibia ayasumdwe yebesa ba na bibia Akosua asumdwe kwanse na yekwedi abusia munim se kobena usume ba na ma mo me wa appointment so anipa na 3 o'clock afre me tie na afre me on abusia me aya na me gimi hu ni o because masem wa dodo masem wa too much minim dintia ya mo kan me pa bo misrem abusia misrem masem wa too much no me masem wa me dwe wa me ntiase I the Sampa Josephine apparently at this year mama me kept man what masem wa too much akwa ketu masem wa sa small boy kwa ketu at 7 program I obey only obi appointment ni pana ready twon masem wa kasa me 2 hours 15 minutes ade am kwame husu me want brem mpo ni me ba akokora de abusia ya mo nka me mpa bo mo masem wa dodo masem wa too much says here ni pay am na kwere program or train me ni pay am na kwere program o ti wa o train me enso me da so awa enye me a mintimi so nkatene nko me kwa na ye me because ina ye ya da na ye busua na sa did say the aso akohia obusua fon no fi obusua fon nchen akwa na akwa hadwe wo de enye hwe nyame na abe nyame na de betwa akobose asase so now let's wrap up the final part of comment and bring this show to an end. Okay, so if you are wrapping up the final part of comment here the show na baby yeah yen hwe one beam okay nti yes mo adwo bi de mo hwe no mame pa because na wasem be seen to one a small TV there be 5 months me hu abrantia na yo smo hwe na yo mama na yo so me hu the comment ache na odin bu am go mi wi na be seen to Grace Saki mama Grace Saki na yeah beautiful because I'm saying last at the top of the comment say I na me so no na reho aba na say me ntimi nya mo hwe na atome ne bina bone areho abusia yi na nipa ba ko ye abusia ba ko ho ti ya na baby am pese me tie abusia fon kana bibia ye kama Josephine asere comment section was yes and I just said that one is to park okay I just said adwo bi come on I am mo hwe adwo bi mame na of Kofi say I plan buying a new car for my German wife next week. Price is 56,000 euros. I need your help. Hey. Okay. Yes, I was here. Emma Caroline Woolley. Or she a free Senegal. Bear 3 months. Me want to comment actually. When you show me mommy, man, what's it? And a queer prempe. Me and my sister queer prempe. Or the super call dancer. So queer prempe is more comment actually. Papa. Only one be brave. I'm waiting for you. Me mama remember pon me sister me nua mama wahim fa mo hwe omame o na buza ya koro fa Kofi si en kanche obi ase o pese of Kofi we Germany na o se o plans obeto German o se o to car for the man here you know Germany next week na car no of Kofi si okoto no yes e born here 56,000 euros na men kanche by grace ahwefo se ohia momo a o ba even rebel car se o pese obi che ne car but on pe car ne ball from car for the channel per car I bet 100,000 pounds as a euros aircon and there was so person got to money here 56,000 euros no all the background is came where say I think say because euros no number is 13 as a 12 crown chamber 7 billion here too no but they make 8 billion crown so for Kofi car now got to the money here 56,000 euros now 56,000 euros no ɔno nko ara pɛ sɛ obi ne sika bɛtɔ obetumi atɔ wɔn pɛ sɛ ɔne ne sika bɛtɔ nti abusuafo wedi ɔmo nsɛm pɔ ɔde safo betu asɛ Josephine nso wotu asɛ na ɛde akɔtɔ kaa na de ama yɛ ɔfa kofi ɔfa ɔsɔ ɛnyɛ sɛ ɔtɔ afa ɔtɔ de ama ne yere sɛbi sɛ ne yɛ ɔba asɛm so nti mo ma yɛ mu ɔfa kofi wae na yɛn kɔtɔ kaa no ma no ɔfe Josephine says thank you Josie you are welcome yɛn kɔ Josie matia na mama Jobi say haha you need a coach mama no correct asɛm wa dodo asɛm wa kɔbɛ uzu asɛm wa too much asɛm wa too much asɛm me am dwe wa mente ase bitimi ba se video am be 30 minutes am be but Mr. Dida make kasa when we bounce now 1 hour 2 hours what there maketu asɛm wa dodo omra ntibire mu mponi na bobo akokora ayasɛm but nyame be okay Alfie, yes, Mama Joby say I need a coach, and I Mama Josephine say yes, so you need a coach, Mattia Josephine. And I go for coffee, I'll show you the car, Mattia for coffee. It's not the car in the bedroom. Josephine say, hey, and I've divine charity say all those people are not good, Governor. I saw them, all those people are good, Governor. I saw them on Condemned last, and I said, you'll be away already, so be away there, the Yanko Poncho, I say. I bet Josephine say, over coffee is too much. You know, or just a one. Last year, tell buy, I'll say. We have best 100,000 euros. I said, yeah, to be one on Sunday camera. And then they also cut it. There's a woman to and you're going to talk more for coffee or whatever. Okay, the just of coffee, it's too much. And there's of a coffee, dear. I just say, I will talk your money. Just means say, of a coffee, let's divide it into 3. Okay, over. But yeah, just means about wow. Just means divide into 3. No, fact, back on also fat. A car do aka. And I feel. There's obviously Asantehene offer. I say, just means unless offer divided into 3, and offer coffee say, just mean if you love your wife, you do it. That's offer coffee done here, pa. Tina, over boss are coming na at the money. They said the same fata. Just Joby is you need to be self-disciplined. Don't if you get a good better, half things will change. Oh, okay. Obviously, oh, Mama Joby commenting. I say, you need to be self-disciplined. I say, okay, because I'm behaving in 1 hour. I say, and I say, don't worry. I'm saying, worry now, but don't worry. If you get a good, better half, things will change. I say, if you get a good, better half, things will change. And Sister Joyce who are her name, because Mama came. The best semi pa that is it. Nyankopon ya adoma the better from being be Sampa. Na ye the ababa so nti I mean ye mom pa ni nse okese ne se ono na nim ade nyina ye. Ono na bua ma ade nyina ye. Enim se de be court be frasem. Court be tun bo ase adon sem suko. Nti mpa ya wo se bon se court sans no don sem suko a ye mom pa na o ma bibia anye ye mom pa na aso hwe ma na bibia anye boko. Yeah. But simi bi o wa sometimes I call Sh0cking, but then obeying the kind of say just been so simple comment section up. Okay, yes. Just I said what Mama Joby kind of just finish extreme comment section. Oh no, you know just feel streaming. I know. Okay. Ready, man, Ghana for sorry, man, assemble because Joby, Mama Joby, yes. From Maryland, USA. You need to be self-disciplined. Don't worry, if you get a good, better half, things will change in our pay. I said, it's me report a worker say, Mama, on the better half, yes, why you busy come friend with him? The better half it will be behind the cross, because when you say there be or a responsible man also coffee now, what I say? I mean, but the good thing is at this point in time, say when you're attached, now so when you're entangled, when you're free, go be answer tonight. I can't 1 minute 1 minute 36 seconds, not 3 hours. But I'm feeling free. I'm here. But I said, I better have 7 more. I'm pa. Untimi yes, man. Though, but obey measured because always I taught to I self-discipline with respect to your time. Yeah, someone, I say okay. Just been say offer, but the price is too much. Now, coffee say over coffee ashtown say Kwabena, have a nice weekend. Amen. Of our also have a nice weekend. Of our coffee back up. Of coffee si buy Matia of our the can the bear ya say be my crown ya by grace TV your phone na carbon near the amount kama pa. And now if just exactly Joby, just been here. Or slave or was Mama Joby as well calling the yard drink. Okay, someone will say Joby as man can't. And someone else there to know. Someone will say Joby exactly makaka. Kwabena name yard drink. Let me say, I said, well, you got a form, sorry, na you would tea and an Joby, and it's already just finished this for you, Miss. And I just have to say, but it's true, Kwabena, obeying the day. And I feel Evelyn, and I must say, single life is sweet. And I'm saying, pressure be now, so. I mean, me can't say, Mr. McCown, with no disrespect to those who are attached, me can't say, but the person say, and I say, the opposite will be an away. The opposite will be an away. But the do be an also cobasa, said the amount you be king. We can never manage Brussels because after all, no one has a say in whatever you do into the open area. What's my better now? Now come say a bare 1 hour. But okay, we cry and say now I didn't the doors into my chest. But if you are attached dance, who your video car, yes, and can now somewhere will become one now how much 12-1 near life. Why? But maybe a year on Chima say any massa. What I say, Massa, yeah, brown, but then the obey now I near Massa. You know that the South was the South year life. Next, could rob bears say, our matching. I mean, Ghana had 11-12, na ye ho wana. Obefri sisia. Cause that time no, I couldn't tell my coin say any mania. I couldn't have a choice there be. But I bet you a home and be behind you. And no crap, and no crap. A boama on your able to name be. We are guided in some of the things that you do. And in the same way, we are guided in some of the things that you do. Now we should say we been touch my we been chi, we been tobaha. So it is an aqua. But now my men are single life is sweet and power. It's serious. Because you do things at your own will or be a mistress. So I mean you'll be for pressure on your hobby. And I mean we are free man, you only able to be honest with me program. And I know now I'm call to then I hear 24 hours economy why. 11:30 now update about. But Sabri any man ya pay kwa say but that's why we are not akasakama. 12 no one united yeah baba story. So this TNT. But ni na mu so no bibia be said yes no effort. And I just want to say I am pa single life is sweet pa. Okay, there's often there's where you through. I'm so commenting with where you through. Or can say ni hey mommy what you assemble bar. Right, I was saying I yakon Mr. Get on fear Mr. Papa. Mr. Papa. Yes. I went fine. You don't fear, Mr. Mo. I was in a fear yet ton. Now, if you are yet ton at Chamayabi. What's at Chamayabi? I can say be a Ubuntu, a Tio baby, or Cote d'Ivoire, Davy. If you will, I will come and say, if you will come and say, at Chamayabi. I will come and say, 10 minutes drive from Sofalai. Now, a 4-bedroom house. Yeah, 4-bedroom house, so I have born the riot ton. One of the bedrooms near master bedroom. And a train akana. A single room self-contained. Train akana. A single room self-contained. When you know if you know more acadie and I think you kwa oko ref you know your rooms be why yan touch yan won hwe kon ye wokọ koji asan ya open na why na sa na nso abom bibia ye bokọ and also your born the road e de akyerɛ afenye no kwa aside and on sense why you can if you know more on your left as well on be miss you summer hat nesi fie no ya summer hat ya ne nyame ya dom na ugifie na wo a make say nka kasatenten ma kasatenten amabre na makotena abersan so na me dwuma home na ne me dwen me ho na me fa atwene na abo ma bibia kama se disitie enti eno so wasem so woni gye ho a me sro efie badika ka se e wa atwema ya be 4-bedroom house ya e wo atwema ya be e bona da fom ye pa be wona kuma se asase kwa na fom na so obenya asase a yesi fie wo so na yesi ye twa ye ton we dey say we dey tell you I mean what to it what twa fo na ton kwan timi sro so when you want me bobo number for pen na frɛ om sisia and so to because the last time we check here nipa coffee ho ye inquiries no me say man hwe bia ni be na kakra ntem yamra na yato be na yato wi a on me bo ntimi bo kwabna ususu bo me sisra madaroma tina me bo ndero so bia busia monto ni sisia o se wo ye din na obi kokoto wi a Saa brɛ no bɛka sɛ akɔ abana fie wanka bi ama me ne atɔ. Dabi. Because me ko yɛ na nka mpɛ sɛ me ametɔ. But na ma ho de enso makwantu. Na yes no, so ma ho de enso makwantu no problem. Ma be bon dero e de ache by Grace TV abusua na igina ya ka bom. Na enso ya hwa atɔ. Ama bibia e bɔkɔ. Nti na ma me bon dero de chama san. Ti fie ba na ba ne 0249 165994 0249 165994 0249 165994 0249 165994 0249 165994 0249 165994 0249 165994 tieni je ho a yenko ho mani mani wi ai ne ne o kasa na ade nyina ni mwai ne si yenko mani mani mi abusua na yemfa ya asem to mani na bibia mwai na bibia enye kama as obviously you have to mingle, get a better half, do them things and be disciplined. If you know, you know. Oh, okay, Matthias sister, other Roma. Hey, just how this is just Obeka. One person says, "Son Obeka," because there's no what for about when you ask them to cry. This is Obeka. Obi akra and can anyone know this stuff? Obeka. Abusia, I say, for how long will you continue to eat takeaway? Hey, and there's all kinds of terrible. Abusia, some way na kusi Daniel or whatever. Over commentate at some way na kusi Daniel catch him no. O say we started by Grace before. O ma comment was master. E di o kasa tintin na who we akoto aduane wo abonten. Who we akoto fried rice. Who we akoto jollof rice. Who we akoto ebia we and I say we akoto drinks wo abonten. Di oba was master ti umre say dey bia usi unema. Master, we see be yo and I say we no oba be kan sem bebre. No tete me sa. And I heard it someone so ready, I'm so cow. For how long will you continue to eat takeaway? Oh, kind of almost sorry. Na ayamunti. And by Grace for almost sorry na ayamunti na ne. Asante mamponi, your friends at the Savo Kantanka. Oh, yeah, Miss you. Oh, yeah, some more. But and chencha wanafi. Lumba na kai. Tibia bay. So Bibia bay ebusun for Bibia ebe. Yes. Dear call. Divine charity so say stay blessed and safe. Amen. Also say stay blessed and safe. Mama, divine charity. Atwema to answer this kon. Afei, and a root golden star so I'm going to comment at check papa root golden star. And also going to comment at check papa. Afei, it is African tanka say for how long yeah American can. It is African was also and also Pia. And if you number 5 friend 0249 165994 0249 165994. But if you Mr. Moscan come here toy. Because we was na metumi za tumbutu na yesafo ne coincidence mbutu. Na mu za da because na usu. Ahodi nya so akwa 22 bo aseko chikakra. Mempro. Ene man ba sa. Nya za nka bi ko am am gifi ne toy. But se me mentimi anto a me madwene no se me mentimi anto a. Ma be bon de ro ma obi ohwe by Grace TV atawa na bibia e boko. Ti na ma ba e bon de ro. Ele share man sa. Ntebusua yentu ana mo ne nso nya me be na bibia anya boko. Me de kwa na usu me da asesa ojebre na ohwe me koso a na ehwe by Grace TV. Sanse ye oni pa bebre ya yete ebeso mo breka mi behia nya me nka ho busua makra. Bye bye. Elizabeth se pia Martin Elizabeth. Ti busua behia makra mo. Bye bye. Josephine, bye.